Chapter 1677. Divine Totem Lan Suyao also relaxed a lot seeing Xian Rujing and Qin Yun leaving. She was worried that Xian Rujing would be biased against Qin Yun and would not escort him. Even Lan Suyao feels that Qin Yun and Xian Rujing's relationship is not good. There is no need to talk about other people. They all believe that Xian Rujing would oppose Qin Yun and Lan Suyao being together. This was because there were rumors that the Moon Palace was very strict when it came to finding a male partner for their disciples. Moreover, once a female disciple found a male partner, they would have to leave the Moon Palace. But now, not only did Palace Master Xian Rujing not object, she even escorted them away. This caused many people to be very puzzled. After all, Xian Rujing is an immortal Emperor Palace Master of Guanghan Palace. Moreover, she is the ice-cold kind, yet she is actually escorting the man of her own sex disciple. If they knew it was Qin Yun, they wouldn't be so confused. Now, everyone knew that it was all thanks to Qin Yun that the Moon Palace was able to obtain several sun-suppressing divine arrows. Moreover, Qin Yun's divine inscription mountain frequently sends resources to Guanghan Palace, allowing Guanghan Palace and Nether Sect's disciples to advance by leaps and bounds. Just based on this relationship, it is very normal for Xian Rujing to escort Qin Yun. Lan Suyao does not know that Xian Rujing and Qin Yun have a very good relationship. Xian Rujing is also the kind of person who is inwardly passionate on the inside. She will not casually spread the matter of her and Qin Yun. She is not here to escort Qin Yun, she is here to find Xiao Yueme. Qin Yun took out the Devil Star Tyrant Dragon and brought Xian Rujing inside. Then he controlled the Devil Star Tyrant Dragon to move towards Xiao Yueme's location. The most beautiful snow goddess in the divine wilderness, long time no see. You have become even more beautiful. Qin Yun is inside the Devil Star Overlord Dragon's small space. He looked at Xian Rujing's cold and moving face and said with smile. Xian Rujing glared at him and lightly groaned and said, "You must have said this kind of thing to that slut star god, right?" "Not at all," Qin Yun said with a mischievous smile. Xian Rujing is sitting on the soft cushion and lying down very comfortably. After lying down, she can see the situation outside through a special light screen. She can see that the Devil Star Tyrant Dragon is using its mantis blades to open a path. The cushion is very big. Qin Yun sat beside it and looked at the beautiful snow goddess. Xian Rujing's lying posture is very alluring, her hand is propping up her head, her eyes are flickering with a kind of rare tenderness and charm. "Xiao Yun, do you know about that heavenly hole?" Xian Rujing asked. "Those guys from the inscription world know, but they won't say anything." Qin Yun sighed. "I also heard that Chu Mingyu promised you that she would let the Chu family tell you about the sinkhole, right?" Xian Rujing heard people talking about this matter. When she heard the name Yun Shaoqin, she guessed that it was Qin Yun. Qin Yun cursed. "I was tricked by that woman." Xian Ru sat up and said with frown, "Have you contacted Star God? Does she know about this?" "I didn't tell her." Qin Yun said, "Do you want me to contact her now?" "Not at the moment. She might also not know." Xian Rujing lied down again and softly muttered, "What is hidden under that heavenly pit?" Qin Yun thought that Xian Rujing would know some things. After all, she is the ice and snow goddess of divine desolate. "Your Guanghan Palace doesn't know anything and directly came here?" Qin Yun asked. "This guy Immortal Desolate Sacred Masters movement is very big. He brought a large group of people here. Evil Sun Race and Holy Sun Ancient Cities people also brought a large group of people here. After we got the news, we immediately rushed over," Xian Rujing said. "Although we don't know, there must be something very important happening here." After Qin Yun entered the forest, he used God position to contact Immortal Desolate Sacred Master, but he did not succeed. Qin Yun said with smile, "I know a few things about the heavenly pit. It seems like my information network is better." Xian Rujing lightly patted Qin Yun's leg and said, "Then, why aren't you telling me?" "I won't tell." Qin Yun said. Quickly tell me. Xian Rujing is very worried. She promptly sat up, pinched Qin Yun's face and said with bared teeth, You are deliberately leaving me hanging. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, My goddess, you promised to give me ice and snow goddess totem, you still haven't given it to me. When will you give it to me? Xian Rujing loosened her hand and said in slight anger, I am not ready. What kind of preparation is this? Qin Yun spread out his hands. Can't you just directly give it to me? This requires me to take off my clothes. Xian Rujing is somewhat embarrassed, she lightly bit her lower lip. I am not ready. She knows that Qin Yun's past life was sun god, but thinking about how she has to do this, she is somewhat unable to accept it. So what? I won't look at it, Qin Yun said with smile. If you don't look at it, how will you obtain my ice and snow goddess totem? Xian Rujing said. I have Mo. Qin Yun let Mo come out and said with smile, You just need to show it to Mo, she is a very cute little fairy. Even if Mo obtains it, it will not be a complete ice and snow goddess totem. Xian Rujing shook her head. I gave my god position totem to Bing Xing, hers is complete. Qin Yun said with frown. There is still a difference between complete and incomplete? I gave it to Mo, she obtained the complete totem, she will pass it to you, only half of it, Xian Rujing said. Mo nodded and said, Big brother, in my inherited memory, there is a kind of rune that is exactly like this. Only when directly imparted can one obtain the complete totem. Alright, I won't take it for now. Qin Yun shook his head and sighed. Then let Mo return to Nine Sun Divine Soul. Xiao Yun, it is not that I don't want to give it to you, it is that I am not ready. Xian Rujing pulled Qin Yun's hand and said with guilty expression, I am sorry. It's fine, I won't blame you. Qin Yun said with smile. You are so anxious to obtain my god position totem, what is the use of it? Xian Rujing asked. Qin Yun took out 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon and informed Xian Rujing about the heat issue. He wanted an ice attribute rune that was strong enough to suppress the heat of the cannon barrel. Sister Bing Xing and I used it together in the ancient Era's garden. The effect was very good. Qin Yun said with smile. Did you kiss Bing Xing in the ancient Era's garden? Xian Rujing suddenly asked. Qin Yun is startled, then said with smile. Sister Rujing, why are you asking this? Xian Rujing said with naughty smile. I heard from Yuelon that Bing Xing forcefully kissed you, moreover it was when you were injured. How can Yuelon be like this, saying this kind of thing everywhere? Qin Yun curled his lips and said. Yuelon is as bad as you. Back in Guanghan Palace, she and Yu Shaoling took advantage of me many times. Xian Rujing said with smile. Especially when we were bathing, she often used Dragon Claw hand on me, she even said that it was a martial art you taught her. Qin Yun is very speechless, he sighed and said, How did my wife become such a female rogue? I heard from Kiru that Yuelon has always been like this. And Shuriyue and Yu also said that in her past life, Yuelon was also this bad, she was a famous female rogue in Guanghan Palace. Xian Rujing said with smile. Aren't you also a female rogue? You forcefully kissed me before. Qin Yun stored away 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. His expression is filled with disappointment. Xian Rujing pulled Qin Yun and said in charming voice, Little brother Xiao Yun, don't be angry. I will surely give you my god position totem in the future. Qin Yun was pulled by her to sit on a soft cushion, then he was made to lie down again. He knows what Xian Rujing wants to do. Sure enough, after Xian Rujing pulled Qin Yun over, she looked at him with deep feeling. Her touching jade-like face slowly leaned over and kissed Qin Yun's face. Qin Yun also embraced this beauty, gently caressed her back. Both of them lied down on the soft cushion and hugged. Xian Rujing looked at Qin Yun and gently caressed his handsome face. Xiao Yun, you worried me to death before, you offended so many people, it is really good to see you again. Xian Rujing said with charming smile. Goddess Rujing, Do you remember when we first met? Qin Yun gently caressed her beautiful hair and said with smile. Of course I remember. Back then I was tricked by a bastard, you saved me. Xian Rujing gently pinched Qin Yun's flesh and said with gritted teeth, Who would have thought that I would fall into your hands? Qin Yun gently caressed her jade-like face and said with smile, How am I a bastard? I am an honest person, being bullied by you female hoodlums all day long. You are still talking. Xian Rujing lightly hammered Qin Yun's chest and said in light anger. Qin Yun sat up, took out the spirit-chasing talisman and looked at it, then said, We are near Uma. Xian Rujing also tidied up her clothes. She knows that Qin Yun is a person with high moral integrity. Even though they hugged each other very affectionately, Qin Yun did not grope her body. He only very gently caressed her back and face. Instead, she kept groping Qin Yun's body. She very much enjoys taking advantage of Qin Yun. To be honest, I quite liked your ice mother tigress appearance, Qin Yun said with smile. Now that you have become a little kitten, I am really not used to it. Just as he finished speaking, Xian Rujing opened her mouth and took a big bite on his arm. Qin Yun loudly screamed in pain. Xian Rujing giggled and said, Didn't you say you liked ice mother tigress appearance? Do you still like it? Qin Yun loudly shouted, I don't like it anymore. Qin Yun has no way to deal with Xian Rujing. If she goes around talking about this matter in Guanghan Palace, it will affect his glorious image. Quickly speak, what is under the heavenly pit? Xian Rujing urged and pinched Qin Yun's thigh. Ayo! Qin Yun screamed after being pinched and said, There are emperor race under the heavenly pit, have you heard of them? Xian Rujing's beautiful face turned pale in fright, fear flashed through her beautiful eyes. All the gods in divine desolate know about emperor race, moreover they are very afraid of them. Are you sure? Xian Rujing's expression is very cold and solemn. Now she has the cold and arrogant attitude of ice and snow goddess. My foster father Netherworld Great Emperor told me. He said he heard it from Netherworld God. Qin Yun nodded and said, I contacted Evil God before. He confirmed that Emperor race is under the heavenly pit and will soon break the seal and come out. Chapter 1678. Dark Great Desolate. Chapter 1678. Dark Great Desolate. Qin Yun also wants to know more about Emperor race. In this aspect, Xian Rujing might know more than Evil God. After all, Xian Rujing used to be a very high-ranked god. Now Immortal Desolate Holy Palace and Evil Sun Race are fighting in Immortal Desolate, then there is Holy Sun Ancient City. If Emperor race appears, it will just be one more Emperor race, there won't be any big change. Qin Yun said. Xian Rujing's expression is ice-cold and solemn. She shook her head and said, It is not like that. It is impossible for many factions to exist in a place with Emperor race. Everyone must submit to them. Why? Qin Yun asked. Because that is the spirit of the imperial clan in their bloodline. Their existence is precisely for the sake of conquering everything. They are natural-born monarchs in any place, in any world. Emperor race either subdue all living beings and become monarchs, or die in battle while subduing all living beings. Xian Rujing said. This spirit is indeed very dreadful, Qin Yun said with frown. In that case, if they appear in Immortal Desolate, they will subdue all living beings in Immortal Desolate. Xian Rujing nodded and said, All factions must submit to them and be ruled by them. At that time, there will be a reign of terror, unless they go into seclusion or hide in desolate domain. Qin Yun said, My inscription Divine Mountain will not be spared? No, as long as they know that you are a faction in Immortal Desolate, they will subdue you and make you a subject under Emperor race. Xian Rujing shook her head. Emperor race is very dreadful. They have been sealed for several epochs yet they are still alive. Not only they are still alive, they are still trying to break the seal. Qin Yun is very curious and asked, Sister Rujing, do you know who sealed them? Xian Rujing shook her head and said, I don't know, it is a mystery. I only heard that 9 Desolate was ruled by Emperor Race during First Era. It was also the most powerful era of 9 Desolate. In that case, Emperor Race is still very strong. Qin Yun said. I thought the more ancient an era is, the more backward it is. The first era of the 9 Desolate is called the Emperor Clan era. It is the most powerful era. Many of our cultivation methods, inscriptions and cultivation inheritances are closely related to the Emperor Clan era. Xian Rujing said. Legend has it that Divine Inscription Palace and 9 Yang Divine Palace were established by Emperor Race. Even Divine Desolate's deity position is inextricably linked with Emperor Race. Qin Yun was secretly alarmed. He thought that the Emperor Race was an extremely evil race. He never expected them to be a powerful ancient race that allowed the 9 Desolate to prosper. Qin Yun said, The Immortal Desolate's Divine Inscription World is a place where the people of the Divine Inscription Palace gather. Could it be that they rushed over immediately to welcome the Emperor clans back to the Immortal Desolate? Xian Rujing nodded and said, Very likely. Didn't you and Su Yao capture a darkness inscription beast before? That kind of rune beast is definitely related to the sealing of the Imperial clan. Darkness runes. The more Qin Yun thought about it, the more mysterious he felt. He immediately asked Mo to come out. Mo has many inheritance memories regarding inscription. These inheritance memories will appear in her mind as she continuously grows stronger. Mo is a lovely little fairy. Ever since she got together with Qin Yun, she has never been hungry. She can eat all kind of delicious food all day long. Moreover, it is the kind that is full of energy. Therefore she matured very quickly. Mo, do you know anything about darkness inscription? Qin Yun asked. Mo is very shocked, her small face is filled with fear. I only heard that darkness inscription is a very formidable rune. I don't know the specifics, Xian Rujing said. Mo is somewhat scared. She stood on Xian Rujing's shoulder and grabbed her hair. She said in low voice, In my inheritance memories, other than 9 Desolate, there is also Darkness Great Desolate. Darkness inscription comes from Darkness Great Desolate. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing glanced at each other, they are very shocked. Could it be that the darkness inscription beast we encountered here came from Darkness Great Desolate? Qin Yun said in alarm. Darkness Great Desolate is very mysterious. My devil fairy race came from Darkness Great Desolate. But I don't have any memory regarding this. Mo shook her head. I only know that Darkness Great Desolate is very dreadful. My devil fairy race fled from Darkness Great Desolate to 9 Desolate. Xian Rujing's expression became grave as she said in deep voice, That heavenly pit, don't tell me it is connected to Darkness Great Desolate? Qin Yun involuntarily shouted, Could it be that this heavenly pit is connected to Darkness Great Desolate? The secret of heavenly pit is beyond Qin Yun and Xian Rujing's imagination. The reason why so many formidable beasts are coming here is to stop Darkness Great Desolate's darkness inscription beasts. Xian Rujing said, Big brother, big sister, don't get close to Darkness Great Desolate, it is very dangerous. Mo whispered in Xian Rujing's ear. We won't get close. Xian Rujing very gently nodded and said. Then she used her finger to gently rub Mo's cute little face. Qin Yun let Mo return to the 9 Sun Divine Soul. We must quickly find Yuma and take her away, Qin Yun said. Then he took out the soul-chasing talisman to determine Xiao Yume's location. Xiao Yume has not arrived at that location. This caused Qin Yun to feel a lot relieved. Then he took out a compass to look for the floating cloud Heavenly Seal's dragon. The head of the floating cloud Heavenly Seal is a dragon sculpture. It is a dragon transformed from a dragon. That dragon is now running all over the place. It is not in Yume's direction. Qin Yun shook his head. I also don't know what that dragon is doing. What dragon? Xian Rujing asked. Floating cloud heavenly seal's head. Qin Yun simply explained about the floating cloud heavenly seal. Back then, Qin Yun and Xian Rujing found the floating cloud heavenly seal's compass in 9 nether realms floating cloud cities sun altar. Now Xian Rujing also remembers the mysterious floating cloud city in 9 nether realm. That floating cloud city must have been built by your past life. Xian Rujing said. The stone steels that open the gate of floating cloud city are gone. Qin Yun shook his head and said, I don't know who took them away. It is not easy to take away those stone steels. We will talk about it after we return. Xian Rujing held Qin Yun's hand, patted the back of his hand and said, We should quickly find Uma and then leave this place. Xian Rujing is an immortal emperor, moreover she has ice goddess's memories. Her spirit cultivation is very successful, she can produce divine liquid to increase her cultivation, therefore her immortal power is also very strong. She asked Qin Yun to store away the Devil Star Overlord Dragon, and let her open the way. Xian Rujing took out her sun-suppressing divine arrow to open the way. Her sun-suppressing divine arrow is a very beautiful white ice arrow, it is now emitting a bit of light rays. Sister Rujing, you have cultivated sun core? Your sun-suppressing divine arrow seems to be alive. Qin Yun is somewhat amazed and asked. I have not completely cultivated it yet. Could it be that you have not cultivated it? Xian Rujing finds this somewhat unexpected. Cultivating sun core can awaken the sun-suppressing divine arrow and allow it to unleash its might. Every sun-suppressing divine arrow has a unique method to cultivate sun core, it requires one to comprehend it on their own. Qin Yun also tried to comprehend it, but he did not succeed. He believes that it is very difficult and requires a very long time to accomplish. However, it seems like Xian Rujing has already comprehended it, and he has no clue at all. I tried to cultivate but I don't have any clue. Qin Yun informed Xian Rujing about his situation. Something is wrong. Yu, Yuelon, Kiru all have sun-suppressing divine arrow. After they returned from protecting sun core, they can gradually cultivate sun core. Even though it is not very strong, it can slowly awaken the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Xian Rujing said in surprise, Your perception should not be low, why didn't you succeed? Wei Zhongjing, Azure Dragon, Netherworld Great Emperor and Qin Long also obtained sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yun met them before but did not ask. He thought that they have the same problem. But now it seems like he is the only one who has not cultivated sun core. No matter, we will talk about it later. Qin Yun said. Xian Rujing opened the way very quickly with sun-suppressing divine arrow. She directly released formidable ice-cold power to freeze those dangerous huge flowers and plants. If she encountered poisonous insects or other dangerous beasts, she would kill them with one arrow after freezing them. Sister Rujing, what about Sister Lingxue? Is she doing well in Guanghan Palace? Qin Yun asked. That is my avatar, of course she is doing well. Xian Rujing said. Oh, that's good. I have not seen her for a long time, I want to see her. Qin Yun feels that Xian Lingxue is the other side of Xian Rujing, she is gentle, considerate and good at understanding others. Qin Yun followed behind Xian Rujing. He asked her about Yao Feng and Lu Yushuyan. Xian Rujing seems to know something but she said she doesn't know and told him to ask Xiaqiru. 2 days passed by, even at night, Qin Yun and Xian Rujing only hugged each other and rested for more than an hour, then continued on their journey. At daybreak, Qin Yun and Xian Rujing finally sensed Xiao Yuemei's aura. There was a great battle here? Xian Rujing said with frown. This little girl Yumei's aura is still lingering. There is also Black Rat Beiza's aura. Qin Yun carefully sensed and said in amazement. There is also a very formidable immortal emperor aura. Beast-type immortal emperor. Xian Rujing's expression changed. This level of immortal beast emperor aura, it must be a divine beast. Very familiar, could it be? Qin Yun immediately felt relieved and said, I know that divine beast, it's a little black donkey. The little black donkey was also here. Xian Rujing heard Qin Yun mention black tortoise before. Great god Xian Wu was very famous in the divine wilderness. However, no one expected him to be sealed in the 9-yang divine spirit. The little black donkey loves to eat, so Xiao Yuemei used all kinds of delicious divine fruits to bait it. It is likely that Xiao Yuemei has already taken it. This guy should be very strong, Qin Yun said. Nether Sect's people have arrived, but they did not enter the safe city. Nether Sect is truly a crouching tiger and hidden dragon. Even Black Tortoise and Azure Dragon are in Nether Sect. Xian Rujing said. Qin Yun said with a smile, the Xian Wu donkey will be in my inscription gate from now on. As soon as he finished speaking, he heard a sharp bray from a donkey. Xian Rujing said, your family's donkey is braying, we should quickly go and take a look. Xian Rujing is walking in the front. After passing through a large forest, she saw Xiao Yuemei riding on the little black donkey, quickly passing through the forest. They are being chased by a 2-meter-tall black rooster. Chapter 1679. 10,000 Beasts Enter Pit. Chapter 1679. 10,000 beasts enter pit. Qin Yun did not see black mouse bays, but he knows that they are in the vicinity. Yuemei has been running all over the place these past few days. Could it be that she is being chased by this chicken? Qin Yun said with frown. Impossible, that little donkey's strength is not weak. Let's follow it and take a look. Xian Rujing said. Little black donkey's speed is very fast. As expected of great god Xian Wu, it is not easy for Xian Rujing to catch up to it. That big black rooster's speed is also very scary. If Xian Rujing did not pull Qin Yun along, it would not be easy to catch up to it. Moreover, when the big black rooster is madly running through the forest, those flowers and grasses consciously avoid it. Clearly they are afraid of the big black rooster. Therefore, Qin Yun and Xian Rujing can easily follow behind it. At least they are not blocked by those huge flowers and grasses. The big black rooster screeched along the way. This kind of sound is very unpleasant to hear. It contains very strong mental attack. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing can resist this kind of mental sound wave attack. Otherwise they would not dare to approach it. Little black donkey, hurry up, that stupid rooster is catching up. Maintain distance, don't let it get close. Xiao Yuemei yelled. Just as she finished speaking, the big black rooster's comb suddenly flickered with black light and shot forward. This black light is filled with many black runes. When it shot forward, its power is very dreadful. It actually caused all the flowers and grasses in the surroundings to wither. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are watching from behind. They are secretly apprehensive. Just as Xian Rujing was about to attack, the big black rooster suddenly fell into a big trap. Black mouse bays ferociously jumped out and frantically attacked the trap, releasing their formidable inscription beast power, causing the big black rooster to scream unceasingly. At this time, little black donkey ran back with Xiao Yuemei on its back. Big sister, how was my performance this time? Little black donkey said with mischievous smile. Not bad. Compared to the last 2 times, it is much better. Xiao Yuemei said with smile. Then can you reward me with a divine fruit? Little black donkey said while drooling. Xiao Yuemei curled her lips, took out a bright red divine fruit. It is as big as a watermelon, and threw it. The little black donkey excitedly chased after the divine fruit. It opened its mouth wide, jumped up, and bit the divine fruit. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing also relaxed a lot. They thought that Xiao Yuemei was hiding from the big rooster. They did not expect that they would capture the big black rooster. Yuemei, I told you to come out and find me, but you didn't. So you're here to catch chickens. After Qin Yun jumped over, he pinched Xiao Yuemei's face and scolded with a smile. I was worried to death about you, you damned girl, yet you are playing so happily. Xiao Yuemei also knows that Qin Yun and Xian Rujing have arrived. She pushed away Qin Yun's hand, jumped to Xian Rujing's side and said with smile, Brother, we caught 3 big roosters, they are very tasty. I want to catch a few more before leaving. Xian Rujing looked at the trap and raised her hand, wanting to help deal with the struggling rooster. Don't. Xiao Yuemei promptly grabbed Xian Rujing's hand and said, Sister Rujing, don't attack, frozen meat will not taste good. Xian Rujing shook her head and smiled, then lightly pinched Xiao Yuemei's lovely face and said with smile, This place is clearly very dangerous, but a little foodie like you has turned it into a holy land of delicacies. After the little black donkey finished eating the divine fruit, it ran back while jolting its buttock. Xiao Yuemei is sitting on the back of the little black donkey and said with smile, This is truly a holy land of delicacies. You will soon be able to taste the flavor of dark chicken. After that pitiful big rooster was beaten to death, it was caught by He Shu using a large hook. Sect Master, you arrived so quickly. Was it not easy on the way? He Shu said with smile. Of course it was not easy, Shu. Is that chicken really tasty? Qin Yun asked. It is indeed very tasty. He Shu said with smile. It is after all a dark inscription beast, it contains a lot of energy. After eating it, it is very beneficial to us inscription beasts. He Shu, Bai Zai and Xian Wu are all very strong inscription beasts, they surely know something about dark inscription beasts. Great deity Xian Wu, are you sure you want to join our inscription gate? Qin Yun stroked the little black donkey's head and asked with smile. I have been sure for a long time. The little black donkey heard that inscription divine mountain has many divine fruits. It wanted to follow Qin Yun. Xian Rujing asked, Have you been to that heavenly pit? Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuemei because she came in very early. We stayed at the edge of the heavenly pit for a few days. Suddenly the heavenly pit spurted out a black gas, and then many strange flowers and plants appeared. Then many dark inscription beasts ran out. There are many very strong dark inscription beasts. Only these big roosters are very weak, we can catch them. Xiao Yuemei said. Qin Yun took out the compass to check the location of the dragon. Since Xiao Yuemei is fine, he also wants to do proper business. He wants to find the dragon first. Qin Yun pointed to the front and said, Go that way, where will we go? Heavenly pit. Brother, is that dragon also inside? Xiao Yuemei asked. Qin Yun nodded. Bai Zai said, Boss, that heavenly pit is summoning many powerful beasts. Maybe that dragon has already jumped into the heavenly pit. What? Qin Yun said in amazement. I am just guessing. Bai Zai shook his head and said, That heavenly pit is summoning many powerful beasts from immortal desolate to deal with dark inscription beasts. He Shu said, We are inscription beasts, so we immediately rushed over. Qin Yun suddenly thought that it is highly possible that Emperor race is related to these inscription beasts, otherwise they would not be able to summon them. Why were you summoned? Who summoned you? Xian Rujing asked. I don't know, but I know that there is delicious food here. Little Black Donkey replied. There is indeed a lot of delicious meat here. He Shu and Bai Zai also nodded. Bai Zai said, After we arrived, we found out that there are dark inscription beasts roaming about. Then we received a new message telling us to kill those dark inscription beasts. Emperor race can summon these powerful beasts and make them obey the orders of Emperor race. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing are even more amazed. Qin Yun now understands why Xian Rujing and Evil God are so afraid of Emperor race. He suspects that many powerful beasts have memory imprints of loyalty to Emperor race within their inherited memories. It is highly possible that the ancestors of these beasts were once completely subdued by Emperor race and branded with memory imprints of loyalty to Emperor race. Even a divine beast like Little Black Donkey can be summoned. It is clear that Emperor race once completely subdued the Nine Desolate. In that case, Dragon race must be here. Qin Yun said. Dragon race's dragon has already entered the heavenly pit. Big Brother Azure Dragon also went, we met him before. Little Black Donkey said. Xiao Yuemei said with smile. I told them to stay here to help me catch chickens, that is why they did not go down. It is very dangerous down there, I don't know what is inside. He Shu nodded and said. Qin Yun glanced at Xian Rujing because it is highly possible that her dragon is inside the heavenly pit. If he wants to complete the floating cloud heavenly seal, he must find that dragon. Don't go down, Xian Rujing said in stern voice. Boss, we also advise you not to go down. Bai Zhe said, no one knows the situation down there. Big Brother Azure Dragon told us before that we will die if we go down. He Shu patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said, wait until they come up, they will come up. Xiao Yueme stored away the large rooster and said with smile, Brother, what are you so anxious about? Let's eat that chicken first. Just thinking about it makes me drool. Little Black Donkey said with mischievous smile. Qin Yun caught a very large crocodile before. He doesn't want to take it out, otherwise it will surely enter the stomachs of Little Black Donkey and Xiao Yueme. Xiao Yueme sat on Little Black Donkey's back and yelled, Great deity Xian Wu, return. Little Black Donkey ran in front. He Shu and Bai Zhe followed closely behind. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing glanced at each other. They can only follow Xiao Yueme for now. Not long after, they arrived at a spacious area. There is a house here. After returning, He Shu and Bai Zhe began killing chickens to make fire. Qin Yun looked at them and asked, This is a darkness inscription beast, does it have any darkness runes on its body? I saw the energy released by this large rooster just now, it has many runes on its body. This kind of large rooster has no status in the darkness great desolate, the runes on its body are not very useful. It is the same as our chickens, they are used to eat, He Shu said. Bai Zhe said with smile, Boss, if you want to study darkness inscription, you will have to capture beasts that can condense darkness inscription spirit. Xian Rujing asked, Do you know about the darkness great desolate? Of course we know. We have some information about the darkness great desolate in our inherited memories. The guys inside are very dreadful, their darkness inscription is very strong. He Shu said. That heavenly hole is connected to the darkness great desolate. If a formidable darkness inscription beast or a darkness creature comes out, the immortal desolate will become even more lively. Bai Zhe said somewhat anxiously. He Shu and Bai Zhe deftly processed the huge rooster and got a lot of meat out of it. Qin Yun is somewhat amazed, this large rooster from the darkness great desolate, its meat actually contains very pure 9 sun power, it is not even a little bit evil. We can start roasting, He Shu said with smile. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing also joined in and began roasting the chicken meat. The ones who can eat the most are the Little Black Donkey and Xiao Yueme, more than half of the chicken meat were killed by them. After Qin Yun ate the meat, he is very shocked in his heart because the 9 sun energy inside the meat is even better than the 9 sun energy he can absorb. If I can eat this kind of meat frequently, maybe I can become even stronger. The energy inside my body will also contain darkness inscription power. Qin Yun is secretly shocked. Very soon they finished eating. Xian Rujing is also secretly amazed because the energy inside the darkness inscription beast is very useful to them. Just as they are reminiscing about the meat, Little Black Donkey suddenly shouted, Big Brother Azure Dragon came out. How do you know? Qin Yun hastily asked, then looked all around, there is not even a bit of movement. This is our special method of communication. He is sending me a signal, telling me to quickly run away from the heavenly hole. Little Black Donkey yelled. Chapter 1680. Goddess fights Mad Dragon. Qin Yun still wanted to go take a look at the heavenly pit. He is somewhat reluctant to leave, but seeing how nervous Xian Rujing and Little Black Donkey are, he can only leave first. All right, let's quickly go to Safety City. Qin Yun nodded and said, Little Black Donkey, did Azure Dragon say anything to you? Xiao Yueme asked while sitting on Little Black Donkey's back. Big Brother Azure Dragon told me to quickly leave Heavenly Pit. Heavenly Pit is becoming more and more dangerous. Very powerful things will come out of it. Maybe they have already come out. Little Black Donkey very anxiously said, "If it is not something very important, Big Brother Azure Dragon would not use this kind of secret method to contact me." Xian Rujing said in deep voice, "Then let's quickly go to Safety City. I will lead the way." Shi and Qin Yun are leading the way towards Safety City. It must be known that there are many powerful beasts inside Heavenly Pit. Divine beasts like Azure Dragon are very formidable. Therefore, Xian Rujing attaches great importance to Azure Dragon's warning. Qin Yun followed behind Xian Rujing and said in low voice, "If Dragon Race is going, then could Dragon Emperor and Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother also be inside Heavenly Pit?" Dragon Race's Dragon Emperor and Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother are both very formidable immortal Emperor experts. Very likely. In short, those beasts are very durable, we humans cannot compare to them. We should first go to Safety City, it is safer there. Xian Rujing said. Xiao Yueme said, "Brother, I think that something is coming to Immortal Desolate through Heavenly Pit. Those Dragon Race are going to stop that thing from Dark Great Desolate from coming over." "Then why are there still some dark inscription beasts appearing?" Qin Yun asked. Heavenly Pit spewed out energy, many powerful beasts were brought out. "We saw it with our own eyes," Xiao Yueme said. He Shu said, "This forest did not exist at that time." Heavenly Pit suddenly spewed out something, and very soon this forest appeared. Bai Zhe chopped down a large black grass and said, "Maybe these things are plants from Dark Great Desolate. If this is true, then Emperor Race must have been sealed by Dark Great Desolate's power." While Qin Yun and others are rushing towards Safety City, the earth is shaking more and more intensely. In the past, although the earth shook, it was only a very small tremor, and it would only shake violently from time to time. And now, the violent tremors were becoming more and more frequent. They now believed that the Azure Dragon's warning was correct, because there was indeed a huge commotion in the sky cavern. If they didn't stay far away, it would definitely be extremely dangerous. All sorts of strange things happened before the apocalypse. How torturous! The Black Donkey let out a long sigh. "I can't even eat properly." Half a day passed. Because of the intense shaking, many cracks had appeared in the dense forest within thousands of miles of the sinkhole. Those cracks seemed to be connected to the Heavenly Pit. When Qin Yun and company cross those huge cracks, they can feel an aura similar to the energy on the dark inscription beast. "Looks like we won't be able to hold on for much longer. Is that thing from the great wilderness of darkness coming?" He Shu's expression was solemn as he said, "These cracks are really deep. If we fall in, we'll definitely die." No one knew what was under the cracks. They only knew that these cracks were connected to the sinkhole in the middle of the jungle. After a day, Qin Yun and the others finally saw the safe city. What surprised them was that the safe city actually split in the middle. Unfortunately, a crack appeared at the place where the safe city is located, causing the safe city to split into two halves. Suyao and others contacted me just now, they are retreating. It seems like they also discovered that something is wrong here. Xian Rujing said. Among the people from Guanghan Palace there are 2 immortal Emperor Old Grannies, they are also very strong, they can safely retreat. There is no one inside the safe city, everyone retreat. The shaking is so fierce, moreover there are so many cracks in the ground, even the safe city is split in the middle, it means that a great change will occur. The people inside the safe city came here very early. When they came here, the forest had not yet grown. If they want to go out now, they will face all kinds of dangers. We should quickly retreat, Xian Rujing said. And it seems like some dreadful things are coming out from the heavenly pit. Qin Yun's expression became grave as he let out a long sigh. The space here is becoming more and more unstable. This kind of intense shaking caused the space to become very chaotic. making it impossible to use teleportation talismans. Even if they use communication talismans, they would need to wait for a period of time before they can send a message. The people who entered the forest all felt a kind of indescribable oppressive feeling enveloping the sky above the forest. It is as if the heaven and earth of Immortal Desolate is being oppressed by a kind of oppressive feeling. The appearance of the heavenly pit caused all the people in the Immortal Desolate to be terrified and restless. There are still 3 suns in the sky, they have not yet fallen, but many great events are happening in the Immortal Desolate. It makes people feel that before the suns fall, the Immortal Desolate has already been plunged into misery and suffering. The heavenly pit leads to the bottom of the earth, and the bottom of the earth is a place that people associate with evil. Therefore, many people feel that a large number of evil creatures are coming out from the heavenly pit. We are truly tormenting ourselves, we just came in and now we have to go out. Qin Yun thought about how he killed his way in and felt very unwilling in his heart. We did not come in vain, we got a lot of delicious food. Those darkness inscription beasts are very tasty. Xiao Yueme said. And to be able to eat so much, it is worth it, Little Black Donkey said with smile. You ate 3 chickens and I only ate 1. Qin Yun curled his lips and said. There will be opportunities to eat in the future. Xian Rujing said. There will surely be a lot of them coming out from the heavenly pit. Indeed, if there are darkness dragon beasts, it would be even better, Little Black Donkey said very excitedly. Can we beat them? He Shu said with smile. Why can't we beat them? As long as we can eat them, we can beat them, Little Black Donkey said very confidently. Roar. Suddenly a beast roar came from behind. This beast roar seems to be coming from very far away. Hearing this beast roar, He Shu and Bai Zai's expression greatly changed. That is the roar of a dragon. We should quickly run. We are coming out. Little Black Donkey shouted loudly. Dragon roar? A dragon is coming out? Qin Yun is apprehensive. Is it a dragon from Dragon Race? No, it is a dragon from Darkness Great Desolate. He Shu yelled in alarm. The shaking ground looks like it is about to collapse, it is continuously sinking down. Motherfucker! That dragon is chasing us! Little Black Donkey shouted in alarm and increased its speed to run forward. Just now Little Black Donkey said it wanted to eat dragon meat, even said it could beat the dragon. Now the one running the fastest is him. Under the ground, Xian Rujing yelled, then turned around and shot out icy cold power towards the ground behind her. A large piece of land behind them was bulging up. Crash! A huge black dragon head ferociously came out from under the ground. This dragon is very black, even its eyes are spewing out dense black gas. Most dreadful thing is that there are many runes on the dragon's body. Only Qin Yun can use Extinction Spirit Eye to see that there are many runes on the dragon's scales. It is very difficult for others to see. This guy's target is me, quickly block it. Little Black Donkey shouted loudly. Xian Rujing's ice-cold power collided with the mountain-like dragon's head. Hur! The icy cold wind caused people to shiver involuntarily. The black dragon head has been frozen in a flash, it looks like a huge dragon ice sculpture. You guys quickly run. I will deal with this dragon. Xian Rujing yelled. Sister Rujing, can you deal with it? Qin Yun is somewhat worried. I can. Xian Rujing nodded and said, You guys quickly run. Little Black Donkey already ran far away with Xiao Yueme on its back. Black Mouse Bays also slowed down its pace. You guys go first. Qin Yun said to Black Mouse Bays, Follow Yueme and others and leave. Black Mouse Bays increased its speed and madly ran after Xiao Yueme and Little Black Donkey. Little Black Donkey is Black Tortoise Divine Beast. It is very normal for a dragon from Dark Desolate to target it. Roar. The black dragon let out a roar, and the ice on its head shattered. Xian Rujing rushed forward with sun-suppressing divine arrow in hand. The black dragon let out a furious roar, its eyes spewed out black gas, transformed into two huge swords and attacked Xian Rujing. A viscous black liquid gushed out from the sky. Suddenly a huge ice mountain appeared in front of Xian Rujing, blocking the dark berserk dragon's two wrath swords as well as the black liquid. Then a burst of frantic snow and wind appeared. Three white-haired snow woman immortals who look exactly like Xian Rujing appeared. After the snow woman immortals appeared, an incomparably huge ice mountain appeared in the sky. Rumble! The ice mountain ferociously dropped down and pressed down on the dragon's head, pushing it into the ground. Dong dong! Muffled sounds suddenly came from the ground. The ice mountain suddenly exploded. A frantic black thunder shot out from the ground, pierced through the ice mountain, and tore it apart. That ice mountain was condensed by Xian Rujing's formidable immortal emperor power. It contains a lot of divine power, it is very formidable. But now it has been destroyed by a single attack from the black dragon. The ice mountain fragments of various sizes scattered all over the place and dropped on the ground, giving rise to bursts of fierce vibration. Ice-cold gale brought along a large amount of ice fragments and attacked a large area of the forest. In the blink of an eye, Xian Rujing's surroundings turned into a world of ice and snow. Qin Yun is watching the battle from not far away. He is secretly startled. This ice and snow goddess is truly awesome. The black dragon is very strong, its cultivation is above Xian Rujing's. But Xian Rujing can block the black dragon. Hua hua, the black dragon's body suddenly tore open the earth and appeared. A large amount of soil and ice surged all around like a violent wave. Three snow woman immortals are surrounding the black dragon. Their hands are forming hand seals and releasing intense ice-cold immortal power. Hoo-hoo! Biting cold and frightening cold wind fiercely whistled. The several thousand feet long black dragon's body suddenly rotated on the spot. The three snow woman immortals released very formidable attack and formed an incomparably huge ice and snow tornado. The black dragon is in the middle of the tornado and is being sucked up. Boom boom boom! Heaven and earth are suddenly enveloped by dreadful heavenly might. This is Xian Rujing's heavenly tribulation divine ability. Great amount of blood-colored tribulation thunder seems like it is tearing apart the sky dome. It is like a frantic waterfall pouring down in torrents and bombarding the huge ice and snow tornado. Chapter 1681. Dark Royal Race. Chapter 1681. Dark Royal Race. Xian Rujing's tall delicate body is like a small dot in front of the huge ice and snow tornado and the dark berserk dragon. However, the might released by Xian Rujing is incomparably mighty. Berserk tribulation thunder dropped down, some exploded on the dark berserk dragon's head, some fused with the ice and snow tornado and continued to hack the dark berserk dragon's body. The dark berserk dragon let out a burst of furious roar. Although it is struggling, it is unable to struggle free from the huge ice and snow tornado. This ice and snow goddess is actually quite capable. Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration in his heart and felt a lot more relieved. Xian Rujing firmly held the sun-suppressing divine arrow, as if she is holding a berserk lightning. She jumped up, rode the wind and entered the ice and snow tornado. Following her delicate shout, the sun-suppressing divine arrow in her hand shot forward like a light beam. The sun-suppressing divine arrow turned into a very large light beam and hit the dragon's head. Boom! A muffled explosion echoed. The dragon's head was hit, but the sun-suppressing divine arrow was unable to pierce through the dragon's head. Come back! Xian Rujing coldly shouted, and the sun-suppressing divine arrow flew out from the dragon's head. The dark berserk dragon let out a furious roar again. Many people who are retreating from the forest can now sense the intense battle. Many immortal emperors sensed Xian Rujing's dreadful ice-cold power and became secretly alarmed. Many immortal emperors in Immortal Desolate are transforming into Saint Realm. They are all saint cultivators, their immortal power contains weak saint power. But Xian Rujing is not, she is directly cultivating spirit. Her celestial power contained a bit of divine power, and that was the most terrifying part of it. Guanghan Palace's immortal Emperor Rujing is actually so formidable that even other factions' immortal emperors are secretly afraid. They saw Xian Rujing in Safe City before, but they don't know her true strength. The strength displayed by Xian Rujing now is more or less close to her limit. Xiao Yun, quickly leave. Xian Rujing knows that Qin Yun is nearby and lightly shouted, I will block this guy for a while and then retreat. Qin Yun also knows that staying here is useless, he yelled. Sister Rujing, you must be careful. I know. Xian Rujing knows that Qin Yun is very concerned about her, that is why she is not running away. This made her feel warm in her heart and her battle power suddenly increased by a lot. Qin Yun gritted his teeth and quickly left. That dragon is truly terrifying. Are all the beasts in the vast dark wilderness that powerful? Qin Yun thought to himself. I don't know what happened to the Azure Dragon and the Dragon Race after entering the Heavenly Cavern. They actually couldn't stop those fellows from the Dark Desolate. Ling Yun'er said. Yun'er, I think that the sealing of the Emperor clan is very likely related to the Great Desolate of Darkness. Qin Yun said. It's possible. That sinkhole is connected to the Dark Desolate. Ling Yun'er said, for the specifics, I can only ask those bastards from the inscription world. Qin Yun chased after Xiao Yueme, holding the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade in his hand. He released his formidable mental power and enveloped the surroundings. Even if he cannot see the huge Darkness Berserk Dragon, he can still sense the aura of Xian Rujing and the Darkness Berserk Dragon. After running for more than an hour, Qin Yun had just jumped over a crevice when he felt a sinister aura surging up from behind him. This crevice is several hundred meters wide and bottomless. Just as Qin Yun jumped over the other side, a large amount of black gas suddenly rushed out of the crevice. Motherfucker! What the hell is this thing? Qin Yun looked behind and saw many people wearing black armor. All of them have very strong build. These people are wearing helmets. It is impossible to see what they look like, but the aura of immortal power coming from their bodies is very strong. We are Dark Royal Race, lowly human, quickly kneel down and submit to us. One armored person shouted in a very arrogant tone. There are more than 10 people wearing black armor. Their aura is very strong, especially their tone, coupled with their 2-meter-tall stature. They give people a very oppressive feeling. Dark Royal Race? Hearing this name, Qin Yun realized that it is a formidable race from the Great Desolate of Darkness. He is very surprised because he always thought that the people below the Heavenly Cavern were Emperor clan. He did not expect that they are actually some Dark Royal Race. Lowly and weak human, quickly kneel down and kowtow to the Lord Dark Royal Race. We will spare your life. The leader of the Dark Royal Race pointed his spear at Qin Yun and shouted, You want me to kneel down and kowtow? Who the hell do you think you are? Following Qin Yun's anger, the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade in Qin Yun's hand let out a cry. Qin Yun flashed over in a flash and hacked with his saber. The absolute yang power within his body surged out violently. Explosive sound wave brought along dreadful heavenly might and swept out. Rumble! The Nether Spirit Sacred Blade dropped down, bringing out a large amount of violent thunder, accompanied by frantic vibration. This is the first style of Heavenly Extermination, 9-style Heavenly Quake, and the second style Thunder Collapse. The violent thunder is like a flood bursting through a dam. The vibration is as if the sky is collapsing and exploding. The wild saber furiously chopped down. The heavenly might is vast and mighty, shaking the heavens. The leader of the Dark Royal Race was hit by the saber and his body was directly torn to shreds. Large amount of black blood splashed everywhere. The other Dark Royal Race people are all stunned. How is this the weak and lowly human they spoke of? This kind of power is simply dreadful to the extreme. Qin Yun's Nether Spirit Sacred Blade flickered and devoured the leader's soul and stored it inside the blade. Dark Royal Race? I see that you are like weak little rats that drilled out from the ground, unable to withstand a single blow. You actually want me to kneel and worship you," Qin Yun said with sneer. His body flashed and a berserk supergravity ferociously dropped down. The dark royal race people were immediately pressed down to the ground. Just as they laid down, they once again floated up due to the gravity. "Acting arrogant in front of me? Courting death." Qin Yun unleashed Heaven Extinction Step's myriad transformation step, causing his body to suddenly flicker into dozens of figures. Then he continuously attacked the sky with saber. The saber energy is filled with ferocious momentum. It is like a concentrated gale of raging thunder. It rushed up and continuously produced rumbling sounds. The burly men in hard armor screamed as they were beaten. Some of them even had their armors smashed to smithereens. Boom! The gravity suddenly dropped, and the members of the Dark Royal family who were floating in the air suddenly felt the pressure. It is as if they are being toyed with by Qin Yun. Those Dark Royal race people who fell to the ground are lying on the ground, unable to get up. Qin Yun jumped over and stomped one to death. These Dark Royal race people who just jumped out of the crack have been beaten up by Qin Yun without any strength to retaliate. Then they were killed one by one and their souls were taken away. A group of heaven immortal trash, they actually want me to kneel to them. Qin Yun's face is filled with disdain. He tightly held the Nether Spirit's sacred blade and stored away all the remnant souls. Then he continued chasing after Xiao Yueme. Ling Yuner said, "Xiao Yun, these guys are very strong. If a ninth heaven immortal met them, they would undoubtedly die." Indeed, with the same cultivation, most immortals in Immortal Desolate are not their match. Qin Yun nodded and said, "Emperor Race did not appear. But Dark Royal Race has appeared." "Dark Royal Race summoned those beasts to Heavenly Pit?" Qin Yun said with frown. "Emperor Race did not come out, instead these guys came out. Emperor Race might also be in Heavenly Pit. Could it be that Emperor Race has been fighting against Dark Royal Race?" Xiao Yueme said. "Which of these two races is stronger?" Qin Yun is filled with doubt in his heart. He increased his speed and madly ran. He discovered that not only Dark Royal Race have appeared, there are also more and more formidable Dark Inscription beasts. And Xian Rujing is still fighting against that formidable Dark Berserk Dragon. If not for Xian Rujing delaying the Dark Berserk Dragon, more than half of the people in this forest would have been killed. The Dark Royal Race and Dark Inscription beasts came out from those cracks. Qin Yun, who was madly running, saw a crack appear in front of him and immediately became vigilant, because when he approached the crack, he sensed a very frantic aura rushing up. Dragon aura? Qin Yun is horrified in his heart. Suddenly, more than 10 people wearing shining armor jumped out of the crack in the ground in front of them. Their armor had the element of a dragon on it. They are immortal dragon warriors in human form. They are dragon race's dragons. Their armor is made of dragon scales. It is as if they are wearing a set of tyrannical and formidable dragon armor. After these dozen or so dragon warriors appeared, 20 or so burly men wearing black dragon armor jumped out as well. Dark dragon warriors! Qin Yun is incomparably shocked in his heart. There are many dragons in Great Dark Desolate, and now more than 20 have jumped out. All of them are immortal kings. These immortal dragon warriors escaped. He finally saw the dragon race warriors who entered the Heavenly Pit. He did not expect to be chased and beaten. After the immortal dragon warriors jumped out, they quickly rushed out. And those dark dragon warriors let out angry roars and closely chased after them. In a short while, they surrounded those immortal dragon warriors. "Ha ha ha! Don't run, we will eat you up!" The leader of the dark dragon warriors howled with laughter. The saber in his hand is filled with baleful aura. He rushed over and frantically hacked down, giving rise to saber winds and energy waves. Dark dragon warriors are numerous and very strong. Immortal dragon warriors are few in number. Their overall strength is weak. They are completely surrounded. it is very difficult for them to escape. Qin Yun has some relation with dragon race. His past life had very good relationship with Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother and Dragon Emperor. Although there was some conflict, it is not impossible to reconcile. Seeing that dragon race warriors are in trouble, Qin Yun will not watch with folded arms. The captain of the immortal dragon warriors lost an arm earlier, now he is fighting against 3 dark dragon warriors with strenuous effort. "I'll chop off your head and you can be eaten," the captain of the dark dragon warriors laughed sinisterly. His black saber brought along roaring evil aura as it chopped down. Qin Yun flashed over in a flash, blocked with his saber horizontally, shouted and made Ling Yun release supergravity. The supergravity transformed into a sword and suddenly dropped down from the sky. The supergravity transformed into a sword is incomparably heavy and very sharp. It has a very strong penetrating power. This is what Yang Shiryu taught Ling Yun'er to use Nether Sun power. The gravity transformed into a sword fell down and hit the dark dragon warrior's body, directly tearing apart his armor. Qin Yun's saber swept out and cut the dark dragon warrior's captain in half at the waist and took away the formidable immortal king dragon spirit. Chapter 1682. Three-Headed Dragon Tiger. Chapter 1682. Three-Headed Dragon Tiger. What shocked the immortal dragon warriors the most is that Qin Yun is actually a human. Because in their eyes, humans should not be this strong. Qin Yun appeared and quickly killed the captain of the Black Dragon Warrior. This not only shocked the immortal dragon warriors, it also caused the Black Dragon Warriors to be extremely shocked and furious. In the eyes of the Black Dragon Warriors, immortal desolate humans are weak and lowly. But the Qin Yun before their eyes is much stronger than them. Many thanks, Senior, for saving us. Our dragon race will definitely repay you in the future, the captain of the immortal dragon warrior said to Qin Yun. This captain's arm has already been broken and he has suffered serious injuries. Just a moment ago, he thought he was dead for sure. Qin Yun saved him, allowing him to keep his life. After the captain of the Black Dragon Warrior died, they are all stunned. Only when they saw Qin Yun put away their captain's corpse did they roar in anger. "Let's get rid of these guys first," Qin Yun said. "There are still several dozen Black Dragon Warriors here, and they are all very strong. Qin Yun doesn't know if he can defeat them or not." A young immortal dragon warrior said, "Senior, we can't defeat them, we should quickly retreat. There are only a dozen or so immortal dragon warriors. Looking at their appearance, they have already fought against the Black Dragon Warriors and were beaten to the point of fleeing. The Black Dragon Warriors have become even more berserk. The darkness power on their bodies is extremely dreadful. The darkness immortal power they are releasing contains a kind of rune. Although it is very small, Qin Yun can see it. He has extinction spirit eye and formidable mental power. His perception is very sharp, especially in the aspect of runes. The immortal power released by the Black Dragon Warriors contain darkness runes. This is also their strongest aspect. Immortal Dragon Warriors can be considered very strong in the Immortal Desolate. 2 ordinary Immortal Kings can't even defeat one of them. But Immortal Dragon Warriors don't have runes, so they are very weak when facing the Black Dragon Warriors. Qin Yun's power contains runes, moreover it is a very powerful Nether Sun totem, so his power is extremely formidable. During the intense battle, several Immortal Dragon Warriors have already been injured. If this continues, they will surely be annihilated. As for Qin Yun, he only killed a few Dark Dragon Warriors. The Dark Dragon Warriors had rich combat experience, and when they worked together, they attacked and defended in an orderly manner. The weapons in their hands were also very strong, and they could gather their strength to burst out with a very strong Dark Dragon power. Even Qin Yun found it difficult to break through their defenses. "All of you, quickly run!" Qin Yun suddenly shouted and released a very strong gravity domain. Within his gravity domain, the dozens of dark dragon warriors were locked onto, and their bodies floated up. "Senior, what about you?" the captain of the immortal dragon warrior shouted. "Quickly retreat," Qin Yun shouted anxiously. "The injured run first, the rest stay," the captain shouted. The injured immortal dragon warriors also retreated at this moment, while the uninjured ones seized the opportunity to launch fierce attacks on the dark dragon warriors that were floating in the air and unable to move. Qin Yun used the nether spirit's sacred blade to frantically hack and chop. He killed one with one slash and then stored the corpse into the 9 Sun Divine Soul. In the blink of an eye, there were only 20 or so dark dragon warriors left. Boom. Because they have to suppress many powerful dark dragon warriors, the consumption of the gravity domain is very great. Moreover, they also have to endure great pressure. Qin Yun and Ling Yuner have no choice but to stop immediately, otherwise the energy inside their nether sun would be sucked dry. The dark dragon warriors' fury soared to the sky. They clearly had so many powerful warriors, but now half of them have been killed. This is mainly because of Qin Yun's participation. "There are only a few of them left, kill them all!" a dark dragon warrior shouted in anger. Qin Yun promptly took out the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. After the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron absorbed Qin Yun's absolute sun power, it began rotating at high speed. Its pitch-black surface suddenly burst with golden light. As the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron revolved, it let out a whistling sound as if 9 mighty heavenly lions are roaring. Roar. A heavenly lion's heavenly roar echoed. A nether realm heavenly lion suddenly flew over and pounced on a dark dragon warrior. Hua. The nether realm heavenly lion unleashed heavenly lion fighting dragon claw and sent a dark dragon warrior flying. That dark dragon warrior's black armor also shattered. Then, 2 immortal dragon warriors jumped over and killed that dark dragon warrior. Whether it is immortal dragon warriors or dark dragon warriors, they are all extremely frightened now. Because Qin Yun's Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron and Nether Realm Heavenly Lion caused them to feel fear. Boom! The Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron crazily revolved and rushed over. After the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron rushed over, the armor of several dark dragon warriors were shattered by the high-speed revolving cauldron handles. Those dark dragon warriors were sent flying far away when they came in contact with the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. Qin Yun's pressure has also decreased by a lot. Roar. At the same time the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion pounced on a dark dragon warrior, it opened its mouth and bit. It used Breaking Dragon Bite and directly bit that tall and sturdy armored dragon warrior into pieces. This kind of dreadful battle power caused the immortal dragon warriors to tremble in fear. Of course, what caused them to be most alarmed is the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade in Qin Yun's hand. When Qin Yun attacked, the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade released a very strong soul attack. It can cause the soul to feel stinging pain and even become confused. While the soul is feeling stinging pain, the sharp blade also crazily chopped down, directly cut open the thick armor, and chopped the dark dragon warriors to pieces. The appearance of the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion and Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron caused the dark dragon warriors to scatter. The remaining few hastily jumped into the crevice on the ground. Qin Yun quickly stored those corpses. After those dark dragon warriors died, their corpses gradually turned into very large dragon bodies. Fortunately, the space inside the 9 Sun Divine Soul is very large, so it can contain many of those huge dragon bodies. A burst of furious dragon roar came from the distance. This is the roar of the dark dragon warrior who is fighting against Xian Rujing. This furious roar is also rushing towards Qin Yun. "Senior, we should quickly leave, it is very dangerous here," the captain of the immortal dragon warriors yelled. I will go with you." Qin Yun nodded. Nether Realm Heavenly Lion has been summoned back. Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron has also been stored away. Those few immortal dragon warriors are very reverent towards Qin Yun. They know that Qin Yun's cultivation is not high, among his immortal king power. He only has one kind of king crystal. He is only a first-layer immortal king. Yet his strength is so dreadful, he can almost exterminate those formidable dark dragon warriors. Qin Yun and those few immortal dragon warriors are madly rushing through this shaking forest. Are you from Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother's side or Dragon Emperor's side? Qin Yun asked that middle-aged captain while running. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother. That captain is somewhat startled because Qin Yun's question means that he is very familiar with dragon race. Qin Yun still has a Scarlet Sun Dragon scale in his hand. Back then Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother gave it to him so that he could contact the dragon race for help in the ancient garden. But later he did not use it. Another dragon race youth said, "Although Dragon Mother and Dragon Emperor are not on good terms, our dragon race's private relationship is very good." Qin Yun looked ahead and vigilantly looked all around. He slowed down a bit and asked, "Did you discover anything after entering the heavenly hole? Why did some dark royal race people appear?" "It is a long story. We don't know too much about the specific situation," the captain said after jumping over a crack in the ground. "Dragon Mother and Dragon Emperor should know the most." "What are you doing down there?" Qin Yun asked again. "We followed Dragon Emperor and Dragon Mother down. I only know that the Emperor race is summoning us down. We want to help the Emperor race break the final seal and at the same time suppress the Dark Royal race," the captain said. "But we failed." Another middle-aged man sighed and said, "The Dark Royal race is very powerful. They have powerful Dark Dragon race subordinates as well as all kinds of Dark Inscription beasts. We are not their match. The Emperor race can only summon the Dragon race. They are not their match in terms of numbers." Qin Yun is secretly amazed. There are actually two powerful races under the heavenly hole. "Senior, don't worry. The Emperor race is very strong. As long as they break the seal, they will be able to suppress the Dark Royal race," the captain said. "Senior, your cauldron is very strong. It is very similar to our dragon race's legendary Heavenly Lion Dragon suppressing cauldron," a dragon race woman curiously said. Qin Yun only laughed and said, "I have some relationship with the dragon race. I know the Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother." He took out the Scarlet Sun Dragon scale. Seeing the Scarlet Sun Dragon scale, those few immortal dragon warriors are even more astonished. Not far away, a dragon roar suddenly came out. Qin Yun said with frown, "Are they your companions?" The captain nodded and said, "Yes, they are in trouble. Let's go." Qin Yun said, "All right." Qin Yun and the few immortal dragon warriors rushed towards the direction of the dragon roar. After they arrived, a wave of berserk energy rushed out. There are more than 20 immortal dragon warriors there. They are besieging a huge black beast. That huge beast has a tiger body that is more than 10 meters long. There are 3 dragon heads on its head. 3 dragon tiger. The captain cursed in low voice. "This guy is very scary. Let them retreat," Qin Yun said. "Quickly retreat." The captain shouted to more than 20 companions. "We can't retreat, we are inside this guy's domain." A middle-aged man shouted, "Quickly run, don't worry about us." Qin Yun's brows wrinkled. He used Extinction Spirit Eye and indeed saw a black energy barrier enveloping a large area, forming a domain. 3 Dragon Tigers' cultivation is extremely high. They are 5th-level Immortal King Realm Darkness Inscription beasts. Qin Yun is not confident in taking them down, so he doesn't plan to fight. Qin Yun released the Heavenly Lion Dragon suppressing cauldron. He used super gravity to control the Heavenly Lion Dragon suppressing cauldron. It floated in the sky and became very large. Chapter 1683. 1683 Chapter 1683 Heaven Trampling Divine Boots. The Heavenly Lion Dragon suppressing cauldron is a magic tool specialized in restraining dragon power. Now it is falling down from the sky. it is infused with supergravity and struck the three dragon tigers' barrier. At the same time of collision, a burst of loud sound burst out, a tyrannical energy wave spread out like a tide. The people inside and outside the barrier are not lightly shaken. That pressure is indeed very dreadful. Even the dragons with extremely powerful bodies felt a stabbing pain because of it. The most shocking thing is that the barrier domain was actually destroyed by Qin Yun. "Quickly retreat!" The captain's voice is filled with fear as he shouted loudly. The three dragon tigers are incomparably furious. Those three malevolent and dreadful strange dragon heads let out a burst of angry roar. The three dragon heads spurted out three different colors of light: black light, white light, and red light. After spewing out, they condensed together and formed an incomparably tyrannical three-colored thunder and lightning that attacked the retreating immortal dragon warriors. Qin Yun immediately rushed over. He let out a violent roar and threw a palm attack forward. His arms suddenly appeared filled with ferocious and fiery might. The black nether sun totem emitted waves of black energy. Absolute Yang power activated Heavenly Lion Extinction Dragon Palm. The palm energy is filled with ferocious and berserk momentum. It met the three dragon tigers' three-colored thunder and lightning. The two berserk energies collided, the earth shook and cracked, a burst of extremely berserk astral wind swept up. Qin Yun is no match for the three dragon tiger. He was shaken to the point that he almost vomited blood. His body was pushed back by the berserk thunder and lightning. However, he was barely able to disperse the berserk thunder and lightning and did not let it hit the immortal dragon warriors. The 20-plus immortal dragon warriors were all shocked to the extreme. They can see that Qin Yun is a human, but his power is so dreadful. Boom! Qin Yun once again activated the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron and covered the three dragon tiger. The three dragon tigers sensed the threat of the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron and hastily dodged. The Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron hit the ground and missed. The immortal dragon warriors have already retreated. "You guys should also quickly leave," Qin Yun shouted at the captain. The captain is somewhat worried about Qin Yun, that's why he did not leave. However, he can't help much even if he stays here. He feels very apologetic to just leave like this. "I can hold on, you guys quickly leave," Qin Yun shouted. "Senior, we will quickly contact our immortal emperors and ask them to come and help," the captain shouted and then also began retreating. "Senior, we will contact our immortal emperor as soon as possible and have them rush over to help," the captain shouted and then began to retreat. Seeing the immortal dragon warriors retreat, the three dragon tigers roared in anger because Qin Yun ruined their plans. The three dragon tigers definitely wanted to eat those dragons. If they killed those immortal dragon warriors, they would definitely be able to eat their fill. The three dragon tiger must have wanted to eat those dragons and dragon. But now, it has been destroyed by dragon, but the three-headed dragon tiger is very powerful and its defense is extremely strong. It will be very difficult for Qin Yun to kill it. He could only hold on for a while and let those immortal dragon warriors leave. The Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppression Cauldron became much smaller under Qin Yun's control, making it more flexible. The Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron that was spinning at high speed erupted with the power of the Nine Heavens Lion. When gathered together, it was extremely terrifying. Under Qin Yun's control, Dragon Tiger Cauldron is flying back and forth. It wants to collide with the three Dragon Tiger. The three Dragon Tiger are quite big, but they can always dodge the cauldron's attack. "This damn guy, how can he be so sensitive?" Qin Yun cursed in his heart. "I will use gravity domain again," Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun approached. Ling Yuner released the power inside Nether Sun and the gravity domain exploded. The three dragon tigers' body floated up due to gravity. The three dragon tigers' body is out of their control, they are unable to move. At this time, Dragon Tiger Cauldron fiercely flew over. Bang bang bang! Dragon Tiger Cauldron rotated and collided with the 3 Dragon Tigers' sturdy scales and swept them away. Become bigger. Qin Yun immediately controlled Dragon Tiger Cauldron to become bigger. He wants to put the 3 Dragon Tiger inside. The 3 Dragon Tiger have been enveloped by Dragon Tiger Cauldron. This made Qin Yun wild with joy. However, Dragon Tiger Cauldron cannot become smaller, because the 3 Dragon Tigers' body burst out with very formidable power, making it impossible for Dragon Tiger Cauldron to become smaller. This won't do, this guy's power is too dreadful. Qin Yun is secretly apprehensive. Dragon Tiger Cauldron has never encountered this kind of situation before. It cannot become smaller because of the formidable power. Xiao Yun, use 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. Ling Yun suddenly said. Qin Yun immediately took out 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon and placed the sun-suppressing divine arrow inside. The Heavenly Lion Dragon Tiger Cauldron has been opened by the 3 Dragon Tiger. So, Qin Yun activated 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon, absorbed a great amount of sacred Xian silver crystal's energy and shot the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Boom! Sun-suppressing divine arrow burst out with scorching heat wave, pierced through space, leaving behind sound barrier. Regardless of speed or power, it is extremely astonishing. Qin Yun can also sense that 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon is boiling hot. Even he cannot endure this kind of heat. He doesn't dare to touch it. Sun-suppressing divine arrow pierced through a dragon head and pierced through it. That dragon head has been seriously injured, but there are still 2 more dragon heads. Qin Yun took back the sun-suppressing divine arrow. When he grabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow, his hand was burned to the point of pain. This guy. Qin Yun is now a first-layer immortal king. It is too strenuous for him to face 3 Dragon Tiger. I can't beat them. Although the immortal dragon warriors are far away, they can still sense the aftermath of the battle between Qin Yun and 3 Dragon Tiger. Qin Yun's strength made them admire him endlessly. A human can actually resist 3 Dragon Tiger for so long. Xiao Yun use Heaven Trampling Divine Boots. Ling Yun suddenly shouted. Heaven Trampling Divine Boots are the Sun Soul that Qin Yun found in an ancient garden. Qin Yun immediately took out Heaven Trampling Divine Boots, grabbed a handful of core fragments and threw them inside. The Heaven Trampling Divine Boots immediately burst out with golden light. After he put on the Heaven Trampling Divine Boots, he felt as if a sun is exploding and roaring inside his body. The Heaven Trampling Divine Boots are crazily absorbing his nether sun power and transforming it into an even more berserk power. What shocked Qin Yun is that the energy transformed by the Heaven Trampling Divine Boots is actually about the same as the absolute Yang power. The difference is that after the Heaven Trampling Divine Boots transformed the nether sun power, it strengthened even more and also became even more berserk. Boom! The berserk 3 Dragon Tiger spewed out a burst of thunder and lightning that covered a large area like a torrential downpour. Qin Yun used Heaven Extinction Step and in the blink of an eye, appeared far away. Moreover, when he takes a step, he can directly step high into the sky. He can't fly in this forest, but by using the Heaven Trampling Divine Boots, he can fly in the sky. After dodging the attacks of the 3 Dragon Tiger, Qin Yun relaxed a lot and took out the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. He grabbed a handful of core fragments and let the 9 Sun Divine Hammer absorb them. After the 9 Sun Divine Hammer absorbed them, under Qin Yun's control, it suddenly became very big. Qin Yun released the small divine hammer formed from the heavenly Tao flame and fused it with the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. The 9 Sun Divine Hammer immediately emitted a dazzling and intense golden light, and there are many black nether sun totems on its surface. I'll hammer you to death. Qin Yun held the gigantic 9 Sun Divine Hammer with both hands and used the first style of Heavenly Annihilation, Heavenly Quake. The Divine Hammer fell down, it is as if the sky exploded. The vibrating power is as if a part of the sky is shaking and falling down. Berserk vibrating power burst out from the hammer head and hit the 3 dragon tigers' body. Bang! After the 3 dragon tiger were hit, their entire bodies fell to the ground and sank dozens of meters into the ground. Qin Yun felt that the power within his body is incomparably berserk, and it all came from the heaven-trampling divine boots on his feet. The heaven-trampling divine boots and 9 sun divine hammer can amplify the nether sun power within his body by several times. Unfortunately, it can't be sustained for long. Again, Qin Yun swooped down and heavily hammered the 3 dragon tiger who were buried deep in the ground. As the hammer smashed down, the hammer head shone with a ball of multicolored light, like a sun. The huge hammer fell down like a falling sun, as if it could destroy the heavens and extinguish the earth. This is the 3rd style of the heavenly annihilation 9 style, setting sun style. Rumble. This violent explosion seems to have enveloped the entire forest. The intense sunlight that exploded out is truly like the might of a falling sun. It is extremely terrifying. After the group of immortal dragon warriors sensed this power from afar, they became even more shocked. They are certain that this is Qin Yun's aura, but it suddenly became so terrifying, causing them to feel very bewildered. They are all very curious. What exactly happened just now? How could a human like Qin Yun suddenly erupt with such terrifying power? The 3 dragon heads of the 3 dragon tiger were also completely shattered by the hammer strike. After using this style, the heaven-trampling divine boots and 9 sun divine hammer immediately dimmed down. Qin Yun stored the heaven-trampling divine boots and 9 sun divine hammer. Just now, he used a lot of core fragments, but the duration was very short. Core fragments are indeed very useful. Luckily, the star god gave him a lot. Otherwise he wouldn't have been able to awaken the 9 sun divine hammer and heaven-trampling divine boot. Because the heaven-trampling divine boots and 9 sun divine hammer transformed a very large amount of energy, they also consumed a lot of core fragments. They can't be maintained for long. Qin Yun let out a long sigh, took out the nether soul sacred blade and charged at the dying 3 dragon tiger. Hoo hoo hoo! He rushed over and fiercely hacked at the 3 dragon tiger. Although 3 of the dragon tiger's heads have been destroyed, the power inside its body is still very strong and it can erupt at any time. Qin Yun doesn't dare to directly store the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron and 9 sun divine spirit. If the power inside the 3 dragon tiger's body erupts, it is very likely that the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron will be damaged. Therefore, he must thoroughly kill the 3 dragon tiger. Just as he was hacking at the 3 dragon tiger, several waves of power suddenly bombarded over. They are all very strong immortal king power. Several powerful immortal kings took action. Although they are attacking the 3 dragon tiger, they will also injure Qin Yun, who is at the side. Motherfucker, where did these food-snatching dogs come from? Qin Yun cursed in his heart. He has consumed a lot of energy, and had no choice but to retreat to avoid that crazy attack. After he retreated, he saw more than 20 middle-aged and old men fly over. Among them, there are also a few youngsters. Chapter 1684. 1684 Chapter 1684 Divine Bird awakens. Qin Yun cursed in his heart. It's the Chu and Shi families. Yo, isn't this Yun Shaoqin? You're quite capable. Shi Tianjun laughed when he saw Qin Yun and said, I have to say, you are truly amazing to be able to take down this powerful dark inscription beast. Qin Yun's eyes turned red. He never expected that the Chu and Shi families would be hiding nearby. You bunch of food-snatching dogs, scram! Qin Yun held the nether soul sacred blade tightly and shouted angrily. Yun Shaoqin, the hammer in your hand should be the 9 sun divine hammer, right? Those boots of yours are definitely the heaven-trampling divine boot. An old man said with a smile. Yun Shaoqin, I never expected you to be Qin Yun. Chu Mingyu's face revealed a greedy and treacherous smile. They did not pay attention to the 3 dragon tigers and instead came over to surround Qin Yun. Most people in the Immortal Desolate knew that Qin Yun had obtained the heaven-trampling divine boots and the 9 sun divine hammer. Many great powers wanted to snatch them away. Although the Chu and Shi families had never seen the heaven-trampling divine boots and the 9 sun divine hammer before, when they saw Qin Yun display such formidable power, they determined that it was the Sun Soul. "Do you want to snatch my Sun Soul?" Qin Yun said coldly. "We are not trying to snatch it, we want you to give it to us." Shi Tianjun laughed sinisterly and said, "Qin Yun, oh Qin Yun, you are indeed very capable, but your cultivation is too low. Although we don't have any immortal emperors on our side, it's enough to take you down." Chu Mingyu said, "Qin Yun, obediently hand over the Sun Soul. We can let you go." Qin Yun's expression was cold as he said, "You should have also seen that the Sun Soul is in a state of slumber. We can see that the reason why the Sun Soul is asleep is because the sun has fallen. However, this does not mean that the Sun Soul is completely asleep. Didn't you just awaken the Sun Soul for a short period of time?" An old man from the Chu family said, "I'm guessing that you used a large amount of core fragments to temporarily awaken the Sun Soul." The middle-aged man from the Shi family chuckled and said, "You destroyed 2 sun altars and obtained a lot of core fragments, right?" The Chu and Shi families were both families from the Inscription World and were core members of the Inscription Palace. Therefore, they knew a lot about the Sun Soul. "Shi Tianjun, you still owe me a celestial king beast," Qin Yun said coldly. "You stole my immortal king beast and now you want to steal my Sun Soul. You are truly a group of robbers. I really suspect that you are not from the Inscription World, but from the Xie Yang race." Chu Mingyu shouted, "Qin Yun, quickly hand over the Sun Soul or you will die a miserable death." Shi Tianjun said with sneer, "You want to wait for Xian Rujing? She can't come that fast." Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, "Kill me if you have the guts. You won't get anything." "Do you think we don't dare?" The middle-aged man from the Chu clan said coldly. "Chu family, Shi family, you besieged me today to steal my Sun Soul. I will make you 2 pay a great price." Qin Yun said in cold voice, "We won't kill you, but we will capture you and ruthlessly torture you until you hand over the Sun Soul." The middle-aged man from the Shi family said with evil smile, "You won't have the chance to retaliate against us." Qin Yun took a deep breath and suddenly took out a ball of fiery red light. Seeing that ball of light, the Chu and Shi family people suddenly got out of the way. At the same time, they are ecstatic because they can sense the aura of the Sun Soul. "You are quite tactful," Chu Mingyu said with sneer. "I still have some core fragments. Do you want me to let the Sun Soul awaken for a while?" Qin Yun spoke and suddenly took out a large box. Inside the large box there are a large number of core fragments. Seeing those core fragments, the Chu and Shi family people are extremely shocked. Because according to what they know, there are not many core fragments inside the 2 altars. And Qin Yun has so many core fragments in his hands. These are all given to Qin Yun by the Star God. Qin Yun took out more than half of them and poured them all into the ball of light. Inside the ball of light there is a small bird sleeping. It is Yang Yang, the 9th heaven Xian sparrow. This is also a Sun Soul and it is a powerful divine bird born from the 9 suns. Last time, Yang Yang became very big and after the fierce battle, he fell asleep and became small. Now, Qin Yun let Yang Yang absorb a large number of core fragments and awaken Yang Yang. Sure enough, the ball of light quickly absorbed a large number of core fragments. The people from the Chu and Shi families also realized that something was amiss. For such a large number of core fragments to be absorbed in an instant, it must be a very terrifying thing. "This is not a Sun Soul, what is this?" An old man cried out in alarm. "This is a Sun Soul. Don't you want a Sun Soul?" Qin Yun said with a smile. "Let's see if you have the ability to obtain it." The ball of light suddenly flashed and let out a cry. A scorching wave of air mightily rushed in all directions. Within the ball of light, the shadow of a small bird suddenly appeared. The small bird suddenly became very large, spreading its wings several meters wide. Its outer appearance looks like a phoenix. It has purple gold feathers, 9 long bird tails dancing in the air. Flames burst out. Each of its wings has 9 stiff purple gold feathers. When it flapped its wings, waves of fire and thunder surged out and attacked the Chu and Shi family people. "Yang Yang, kill those guys!" Qin Yun yelled. He knew that in order to awaken Yang Yang, he would need a large number of core fragments. If there was only one opponent, Qin Yun would only need to awaken heaven-trampling divine boots and 9 sun divine hammer. However, he was surrounded by more than 20 people from the Chu and Shi family. Even if he awakened 2 divine tools, it would still be very difficult to kill them all. At least a few of them would be able to escape, but awakening Yang Yang would be enough. Yang Yang let out a cry. A huge scorching energy barrier suddenly appeared all around her. She can now also release a barrier domain. The Chu clan and Shi clan members crashed into the barrier as they tried to escape. They were unable to get out. Yang Yang's flying speed inside the barrier domain is very fast. She arrived in front of an old man in the blink of an eye. That old man is a 5th-level immortal king. He also has a very strong defensive immortal tool. After Yang Yang flew over, she flapped her wings. Thunder and fire rushed out with berserk thunder power and directly burned the old man to ashes. Yang Yang's flame and thunder and lightning are very berserk and powerful. Even Qin Yun is very shocked. If Yang Yang did not specially control the flame, Qin Yun would have been burned. Chu and Shi family people are scared out of their wit. They really did not expect that Qin Yun would have a sun spirit. This sun spirit is also very dreadful. It is a very powerful sun god beast. Yang Yang, kill these guys, then eat those 3 dragon and tiger to fill your stomach, Qin Yun said with smile. Yang Yang also saw the half-dead 3 dragon and tiger. She is very excited now. She let out a cry and rushed towards the other immortal kings. As for Qin Yun, he suddenly disappeared. Chu Mingyu and Shi Tianjun are very scared. Their elders are not weak immortal kings, but now they are fleeing in all directions. When they saw Qin Yun suddenly disappear, they were even more afraid. "Qin Yun, don't kill me, don't you like Mingyu? I will give her to you." Just as Shi Tianjun finished speaking, Qin Yun appeared behind him. Shua! Qin Yun's saber hacked down. He used the second style of heavenly annihilation, thunder collapse. Berserk thunder and lightning accompanied the berserk nether spirit sacred blade and landed on Shi Tianjun's body. Ah! Shi Tianjun screamed again and again. His arm was chopped off at the shoulder. His body was burnt black and in intense pain. He rolled on the ground and screamed. Chu Mingyu is so scared that her face turned deathly pale. "I don't like trash like her," Qin Yun sneered. Super gravity covered Chu Mingyu, forcing her to kneel down. Chu Mingyu's face is filled with fear and despair as she looked at Qin Yun. "I am willing to tell you the secret of the heavenly cavern. Don't kill me. You played me once is enough. You want to play me again? No way." Qin Yun furiously chopped down with his saber, bringing along shaking heavenly might and berserk flame. With a crash, Chu Mingyu was directly turned into ashes. Shi Tianjun, who is at the side, saw Qin Yun kill Qin Yun and completely despaired. He thought that Qin Yun was really interested in Chu Mingyu, but now it seems that both he and Chu Mingyu were wrong. Chu Mingyu previously boasted that Qin Yun was infatuated with her beauty, but when Qin Yun attacked just now, he did not hesitate at all. It can be seen that he really did not like her at all. "You adulterous couple, go die together." Qin Yun's saber slashed down, thunder and fire exploded, directly tearing Shi Tianjun to pieces. The elders of the Chu family and Shi family are not dead yet. When they saw Chu Mingyu and Shi Tianjun killed, they are all furious and fearful. "Qin Yun, Do you want to become enemies with the Chu and Shi family of the inscription world? Our two families occupy more than half of the power in the inscription world. The Chu family elder said angrily. You have to understand the situation clearly. It is you who want to become enemies with me. You clearly know that I am Qin Yun, yet you still want to provoke me and steal my son's soul. Now that you are about to be exterminated by me, you say that I am also your enemy? Qin Yun slashed at the nether soul sacred blade and walked towards an old man whose lower body was destroyed. That old man's lower body was smashed by a bolt of lightning from Yang Yang's wings, and his upper body was also severely injured. You! When the old man saw Qin Yun, he cried out in alarm, Quickly save me! They can't even protect themselves. Qin Yun laughed and slashed down with his saber, directly harvesting the old man's soul. At this moment, Yang Yang is also spewing flames at the three dragon tigers. She wants to roast the three dragon tigers. As for the Chu and Shi family, there are still a few people left. They were beaten half to death by Yang Yang and fell to the ground, wailing. Qin Yun walked over with a sneer. When the middle-aged man from the Shi family saw Qin Yun coming over, he screamed in pain and despair. His body had been pierced by several bolts of lightning, yet he was still able to scream. What are you screaming for? So many of you besieged me just now, I didn't even scream. Qin Yun chuckled and killed the middle-aged man with a single slash. The remaining few old men are begging in despair. They are all immortal kings and have a certain status in their families. They can be considered to be very carefree and happy, none of them want to die. If you weren't greedy, if you didn't fight with me over the three dragon tigers and my son's soul, you would still be alive. Qin Yun smiled. Now you have died because of greed. You brought this upon yourselves. Shwa shwa shwa. Qin Yun quickly slashed down with a few slashes and finished off all the old men. And the number of powerful remnant souls stored inside the nether soul sacred blade is also many. Qin Yun is very satisfied. Just as Yang Yang is spewing fire to roast the three dragon tigers, a thick black cloud suddenly floated over from the sky. Yang Yang, enter the nine sun divine spirit and roast it. A bad guy is coming. Qin Yun rushed over and stored Yang Yang and the three dragon tigers into the nine sun divine spirit. Then, he quickly ran. Chapter 1685. Emperor Clan Seal breaking. After Yang Yang entered the nine sun divine spirit, he continued to spit out fire to roast the three dragon tigers. He did not immediately fall asleep. Qin Yun asked Yang Yang to leave the bones behind. The three dragon tigers are dark inscription beasts. The inscriptions are on the bones. As long as the bones are left behind, they can study the inscriptions on them. I need to quickly find a place to rest. Qin Yun fought a few battles and is also very tired. He is still somewhat worried about Xian Rujing because she is still fighting with the Darkness Dragon. He originally thought that Xian Rujing would only need to stall the Dark Berserk Dragon for a period of time and then retreat. Now that they are still fighting, Qin Yun is worried that Xian Rujing will be entangled and unable to escape. The Dark Berserk Dragon would definitely be able to transform into a human form, which would allow it to fight with greater dexterity. Xiao Yun, don't worry too much. She's the snow goddess after all. Nothing will happen to her. Ling Yuner said, you should quickly leave this forest so that she won't have too many concerns. The immortal dragon warriors who had entered the heaven crater before were all retreating because they knew how terrifying the darkness royal race was. Qin Yun asked the captain before and learned that the dragon race's powerful immortal emperor-level dragons are suppressing the dark royal race's experts and helping the imperial race escape. Qin Yun could roughly imagine what the environment under the sky cavern was like. It was definitely very complicated, which was why there were continuous tremors. When the dark royalty came from the dark desolate, they definitely had to open up a spatial rift. That was why the tremors affected the spatial rift. After running for a while, Qin Yun finally caught up to the immortal dragon warriors. Those immortal dragon warriors are very shocked to see that Qin Yun has caught up and is completely fine. "Senior, what about the 3 dragon tigers?" the captain asked. "Dead," Qin Yun said. "Let's run quickly, the black cloud in the sky is very dangerous." The black clouds were formed by the black gas spewing out of the sinkhole. When the immortal dragon warriors learned of the death of the 3 dragon tigers, they all looked at Qin Yun in shock. When they retreated, they discussed the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron on the way. They confirmed that it was the legendary heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron and were very curious about Qin Yun's identity. Although Qin Yun's cultivation is not high, these immortal dragon warriors all respectfully address him as senior. "Look!" Suddenly, an immortal dragon warrior pointed to the sky and shouted. Qin Yun looked up at the sky and saw a huge black ball spewing out black gas. It was quickly moving in the direction of the sinkhole. Not long after, it was obscured by the dark clouds in the sky. Xieyang. Qin Yun frowned. Xieyang race. They actually sent a Xieyang over. What are they trying to do? Are they going to help the Dark King race? A middle-aged man cursed in a low voice. Those bastards from the Xieyang race might be in cahoots with the Dark King race. Qin Yun thought about it carefully and felt that it was highly possible. The Xieyang race had existed for a very long time, and they had been eyeing the 9 suns and 9 desolate lands for a very long time. It was very likely that they were closely related to the Dark race. There were 2 Xieyangs in the Immortal Desolate, and now that one of them was in the Heaven Crater, it would be of great help to the Dark King race. Something fell down. Another immortal dragon warrior shouted in shock. After Xieyang flew across the sky, many black air masses of different sizes fell from the sky and slowly fell to the ground. After Qin Yun sensed that kind of aura, he said in deep voice, "It is the Xieyang race's evil dragon generals. And those lizard dragons." Sure enough, those huge balls of air suddenly exploded and huge lizard dragons appeared one after another. They were the so-called evil sun saint dragons. And the smaller black air masses are the very powerful evil dragon generals. These lizards are not worthy to be called dragons. The captain looked at the huge lizard dragons in the sky with great fury. The lizard dragons are flying in the sky, they are flapping their huge wings, as if they are looking for something. Qin Yun said with frown, "These things can fly so easily, it seems like the Xieyang race is truly related to the Dark King race. This forest should be controlled by the Dark King race." A middle-aged man nodded and said, "Indeed, an old man from the Emperor race said that the Dark King race created a very strong barrier that covered a radius of 10,000 li around the Heaven Crater. They want to occupy this area. We should quickly leave this place. Let's see what happens to the Emperor race," Qin Yun said. With the addition of the Xieyang race, Qin Yun became even more worried because Xian Rujing is still inside, fighting against the formidable dark berserk dragon. Those lizard dragons in the sky seem to be looking for something, they are constantly flying here and there. Qin Yun also noticed that the lizard dragons are gathering at the place where he killed the 3 dragon tigers. Could it be that I exposed my sun soul? Qin Yun cannot help but think. Although Yang Yang is very strong, her aura should not be exposed much. Ling Yuner said, "Xiao Yun, this is the territory of the Dark King race. Don't forget those strange flowers and trees, it is highly possible that they were created by the Dark King race. Maybe they can sense something from those flowers and trees. Maybe so. They can only sense the aura of Sun Soul, they should not be able to see me through the flowers and trees." Qin Yun said in his heart. The aura of 3 Sun Souls suddenly appeared. It is enough to attract the attention of the Dark King race. Or maybe Xieyang can sense it, that's why he rushed over so quickly. Xieyang can travel through space, that's why he can arrive so quickly. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun is worried that Xieyang will attack Xian Rujing, so he has been paying attention to Xian Rujing's aura fluctuation. Although he is already far away from Xian Rujing, he can still sense the battle between Xian Rujing and the dark mad dragon. After all, it is a battle between formidable immortal emperors. The movement is very big. Lizard dragons are coming down, an old man yelled. Prepare for battle. A few immortal dragon warriors immediately transformed into huge dragons. After transforming into dragons, they are suppressed by a power and cannot fly. But relying on their huge bodies, they can easily fight against the lizard dragons. Roar, roar, roar. Dragon race's dragons opened their mouths and spewed out frantic dragon power. They also swept their huge dragon tails towards the lizard dragons diving down. When these dragons fight, the movement is very big. It is as if they can turn the heaven and earth upside down. Qin Yun saw that the dragon race's dragons can deal with the lizard dragons, and did not take action. He consumed a lot of energy before, now he wants to conserve energy to deal with even more dangerous crises. The lizard dragons discovered the dragon race warriors and sent out a signal, summoning other lizard dragons and evil dragon generals. Quickly retreat, Qin Yun said in low voice. There are many of them and they can fly in the sky. It will be very disadvantageous for us if we continue to waste time. After the immortal dragon warrior elder repelled the surrounding lizard dragons, he had the immortal dragon warriors turn back into human form and quickly escape from the forest. Qin Yun and the others increased their speed and madly fled. The lizard dragons in the sky are also closely chasing them. They unceasingly spewed out frantic evil power and bombarded the ground. Since they can dodge, they don't plan to fight back. Wait until we leave this forest, then we will deal with these things. At that time, they will die. A dragon race old man coldly groaned and said, Dragon race's dragons can't fly, they are at a disadvantage fighting the lizard dragons in the sky. More than an hour later, more and more lizard dragons are chasing after them. Qin Yun doesn't know if they are chasing after him or the dragon race's dragons. Suddenly, a familiar aura fluctuation arrived from the front. Qin Yun is startled in his heart because it is Lan Suyao's aura, as well as Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi's aura. They are fighting at the front. There is a situation. Qin Yun suddenly shouted, then took out the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade and used Light Transformation Sacred Pupil to rush over. There is a large open space ahead. It is because the forest has been completely flattened by the fierce battle. Zi Qingqing, Lan Suyao and Shui Tianzi are indeed fighting. They are fighting humans. Qin Yun can't tell what kind of people they are all very strong immortal kings. Lan Suyao is fighting 3 on her own, Shui Tianzi and Zi Qingqing are fighting 1 against 2. It's Guang Han Palace's people, they are our allies, a dragon race woman yelled. Quickly help them. Qin Yun is already rushing towards Lan Suyao. Suyao, who are these guys? After Qin Yun rushed over, his lightning lock sacred pupil flickered and shot out a thunder and lightning that locked down a black-clothed immortal king. It's Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Xie Yang race bastards. Seeing Qin Yun and a group of immortal dragon warriors arrive, Lan Suyao relaxed a lot. There are only 7 people from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Xie Yang race. They saw a large group of formidable immortal dragon warriors suddenly rush over. They are endlessly frightened and began fleeing one after another. One of the large men from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate has been locked down by Qin Yun's lightning lock sacred pupil. Qin Yun jumped over, brandished the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade and chopped down. Nether Spirit. That large man recognized the saber. He did not even finish speaking and was killed by Qin Yun's saber. Dragon race's immortal dragon warriors also chased after those Xie Yang race and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people. They very easily surrounded and killed them. There are more than 100 giant lizard dragons chasing from the sky. They suddenly attacked the ground. Everyone be careful, quickly dodge. Qin Yun yelled. Berserk energy rushed out of those giant lizard dragons' mouths. It brought along a kind of black liquid filled with stench and poured down from the sky. Qin Yun and the others increased their speed to dodge the poisonous liquid filled with berserk energy. At this time, the sky is already covered with dense black clouds. A large number of giant lizard dragons flew out from the black clouds. They are all rushing towards Qin Yun and the others. There are more and more of these things. Shui Tianzi yelled. There must be 2 Xieyang. Not only are there a large number of giant lizard dragons chasing from behind, a large group has also appeared in front of them. 2 Xieyang are here. The dragon race elder said in cold voice. Their target is us? Qin Yun secretly feels that the Xieyang race must have discovered that the Sun Soul is on him. He used the power of the Sun Soul not long ago. There must still be some remnant aura left on his body. The Xieyang race must have sensed a weak Sun Soul aura. Just as the numerous giant lizard dragons appeared in the sky, the huge heavenly crater in the distance suddenly shot out a huge golden light beam, pierced through the black clouds and shot 10,000 li into the sky. The moment the golden light beam appeared, it immediately illuminated the forest shrouded in black clouds. The dense, evil black clouds in the sky were torn apart by the golden light beam and quickly dissipated. After the hundreds of giant lizard dragons surrounding Qin Yun and the others were illuminated by the golden light beam, they let out sharp and miserable roars and then flew away towards the black Xieyang high up in the sky. The black Xieyang is also moving away from the golden light beam that shot out from the heavenly crater at an extremely fast speed. Chapter 1686. Welcoming the Emperor, Qin Yun looked at the golden light beam that soared into the sky in the distance. He was intimidated by the powerful aura. The evil beings of the Xieyang race had no choice but to flee because the golden light released by the Emperor race made them feel incomparably uncomfortable. The sinkhole was incomparably huge, and a large amount of golden light and mist gushed out, instantly filling the space between heaven and earth. When Qin Yun sensed that terrifying aura, he felt fear in his heart. At the same time, he gained a certain understanding of the Emperor race's strength. The Emperor clans were definitely very strong. As for how strong, he did not know. In the same rank, the strength of an Emperor clan member would definitely be stronger than that of the Dragon clan. If it was an ordinary person, there was no way they could resist the powerful Emperor clan. The giant lizard dragons stopped attacking and flew towards the 2 fleeing Xieyangs. Although the 2 Xieyangs from the Immortal Desolate were here, they still couldn't suppress the monarch races. With the help of the Dragon clan, the Emperor clan finally managed to break through the seal and escape. The Imperial clan that had been sealed for several eras had finally returned to the 9 wastelands. The dragon warriors were all wild with joy. They didn't need to run anymore. The appearance of the Emperor clans was enough to intimidate the Dark Royalty. "Senior, let's go take a look," the captain said. "I won't go, I still have something important to do," Qin Yun said with smile. "If you see the Red Sun Dragon Mother, help me say hello." He also wants to see the Emperor race people, but he has 3 sun spirits and also Nether Sunday. If the Emperor clans wanted to snatch it, then it would be dangerous. Before figuring out what kind of people the Emperor clans were, Qin Yun did not want to get too close to them. Suddenly, a group of people rushed over. When Qin Yun saw those people, he couldn't help but be secretly alarmed because those people are not weak. "It's a friend from the Immortal King, Ancient City." The captain smiled and said, "The Immortal King of the Immortal King, Ancient City, should also be going to welcome the D clan." As expected, after the powerful Immortal Kings of the Ancient City of Immortal Kings came over, they started chatting happily with the people of the Dragon tribe. "Goodbye, we will meet again someday." Qin Yun cupped his fists towards the Dragon race people, then left with Lan Suyao, Shui Tianzi and Zi Qingqing. After they left, a middle-aged man from the Ancient City of Immortal King said in shock, "Who was that? He actually has 3 stunning beauties by his side. Those 3 women are from the Guang Han Palace." A woman from the dragon race laughed and said, "That man? Very strong. A young man from the ancient city of celestial kings said in disdain. How strong? He's only a first heaven celestial king, and I'm a third heaven celestial king. I can beat him up with just one hand. When the dragon warriors heard this, they all laughed. Their laughter was filled with ridicule. The young man from the immortal king ancient city was very unhappy and said, You guys are dragons after all, and are much stronger than humans. Why do you think that guy is very strong? He is Qin Yun. The captain said, He saved us. Although Qin Yun did not reveal his name, the dragon race warriors can guess it. Qin Yun had an extremely good relationship with the Guanghan Palace. Furthermore, he had a powerful sun soul in his hands. Especially the heavenly lion dragon suppression cauldron, many people were familiar with it. The people from the ancient city of Immortal King didn't say anything, especially that young man. Everyone knew that Qin Yun had once caused the immortal Emperor Ancient City to suffer a great loss and nearly destroyed it. The immortal King Ancient City was much weaker than the immortal Emperor Ancient City. If Qin Yun had attacked the immortal King Ancient City last time, the immortal King Ancient City would have definitely been turned into ruins. Not to mention that Qin Yun had once destroyed 2 altars and knocked down a Xieyang. This was an astonishing achievement that shook the entire immortal desolate. Qin Yun won't be able to be arrogant for long. This world belongs to the imperial race. The young man snorted lightly. He has 2 sun souls in his hands. If the imperial race finds out, they will definitely make him hand them over. In the end, he can only submit in front of the imperial race. When the dragon race warriors heard this, they suddenly understood why Qin Yun did not go to see the imperial race. He was worried that they would be snatched away. The people from the immortal king ancient city and the dragon race warriors sank into a short period of silence. The imperial race must be very powerful. If they knew that Qin Yun had 2 sun souls, they would most likely snatch them away. And with Qin Yun's personality, he would definitely not hand them over. In the end, he would definitely fight against the imperial race. Everyone knew that if Qin Yun fought against the imperial race, either he would die or the imperial race would suffer great losses. Let's go take a look at the imperial race. From now on, they will be the ones to rule the 9 desolate. The middle-aged man from the immortal king ancient city said, From now on, we will also be in the same camp. The dragon race warriors nodded their heads and then proceeded towards the huge heavenly crater that is spewing golden light. 2 days later, Qin Yun and the others have already rushed out of the forest. They are floating in the sky, looking at the depths of the forest from far away. They can see incomparably huge golden light soaring to the sky. It is coming out from the heavenly crater. Xiao Yun, Sister Rujing, is still inside. Lan Suyao said, I will go meet up with the other disciples and elders of the Guanghan Palace and wait for her outside. What about you? Shui Tianzi, who is wearing white skirt, is standing beside Qin Yun. Her delicate and tender lily-white hands are holding Qin Yun's arm, her soft and warm body is leaning against Qin Yun. Her charming and moving face is smiling sweetly, she said with a sweet smile. I want to be together with Xiao Yun. Goodbye, master. Little Demonis, I guided you for so long in vain, you actually abandoned me like this. Lan Suyao angrily scolded, then floated over and pinched Shui Tianzi's jade waist. Lan Suyao lightly groaned and said, It is still Qingqing who is better, not like a water demoness like you. Zi Qingqing is standing beside Lan Suyao. She is wearing a noble and elegant purple skirt. Her appearance is exceptionally beautiful. Her luxurious purple skirt is fluttering in the wind, making her appear even more dignified and gorgeous. Her seemingly cold and arrogant beautiful eyes are filled with tenderness as she stared at Qin Yun, whose face is filled with mischievous smile. Sister Steamed Bun, are you coming with me? Qin Yun said with smile. Zi Qingqing nodded. Master, do you want to come with us? Being together with Xiao Yun is very fun. Shui Tianzi said with charming smile. She pulled Lan Suyao's jade-like hand. She wants to pull her into their group. Let's talk about it later. I still prefer to go around fighting and killing. Lan Suyao caressed Shui Tianzi's charming face, and then pinched Zi Qingqing's face. If you come with me, you will have to fight, Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. He also hopes that Lan Suyao will come with him. After all, she is a violent woman with very strong battle strength. Moreover, she is very beautiful. Lan Suyao laughed and said, You are making me a bit excited. All right, let me think about it first. I will go meet up with the elders. You should quickly leave this place. She knows that Qin Yun has 2 sun spirits in his hands. It is best to leave the emperor race first. Qin Yun smiled and pulled Zi Qingqing over, then pulled the 2 beauties' jade-like hands and flew away. While flying, Qin Yun wanted to reach out his hand to pinch Zi Qingqing's beautiful face several times, but Zi Qingqing glared at him and forced him back. 2 big sisters, you have been away from me for so long, did you miss me? Qin Yun said with smile. I missed you to death. Shui Tianzi looked at Qin Yun with seductive eyes. Her expression has a trace of misery. Her eyes flickered, she pouted her mouth and said in charming voice, Little brother Xiao Yun, I almost forgot about you. I feel very sad just thinking about it. It's all right, it's good that I remember now, Qin Yun said with smile. Little brat, did you use sun spirit in that forest before? Zi Qingqing asked. And Qin Yun nodded and said, I even let Yang Yang wake up to deal with a very strong 3-headed dragon tiger. Zi Qingqing said with frown, No wonder. That's why those lizard dragons attacked you. It's fine, those guys can't do anything to me. Qin Yun looked around and said, Let's return to the divine inscription mountain first. Where's Yueme? Shui Tianzi asked. She said that she is now the big sister of the inscription gate. She should have gone back as well. Qin Yun said with smile. You guys enter the 9 Sun Divine Spirit first, this way I can teleport back faster. Alright, I haven't seen Mo for a long time, I miss her. Zi Qingqing smiled sweetly. She has collected a lot of delicious food, you guys are in luck. Qin Yun smiled and rubbed Zi Qingqing's beautiful and somewhat round face a few times. Finally being able to rub Sister Steamed Bun's beautiful face, Qin Yun is very happy in his heart. He chuckled non-stop. After Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi entered the 9 Sun Divine Spirit, they were very happy to see Mo and the little jade rabbit. Then, they began to play with the 2 cute little fellows. Yang Yang is still roasting the 3-headed dragon tiger in another 9 Sun Divine Spirit. Qin Yun thought that Yang Yang would continue sleeping after waking up for a while. He never expected that he would actually spit fire to roast the 3-headed dragon tiger in excitement. That little fellow Yang Yang won't fall asleep until he eats all 3 dragon tigers. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. Then, he activated the teleportation jade pendant and teleported to the vicinity of the divine inscription mountain. Although Qin Yun had never seen an Emperor clan member before, he could feel the power of the Emperor clan from afar. He knew that the Immortal Desolate would definitely be the battlefield between the Emperor clan and the Dark Royal clan in the future, and the original camp of the Xie Yang race would definitely join the Dark Royal clan. The original camp of the Immortal Desolate Temple was on the side of the Emperor clan. The 9 Desolate Land before the apocalypse was truly full of changes. The change in power structure was unimaginable. As for Qin Yun, he was in a rather awkward position. He wanted to join the Emperor clan's camp, but he was worried that the Emperor clan would demand his Sun Soul. He would never hand over the Sun Soul, so he could only temporarily avoid the Emperor clan and inquire about the situation of the Emperor clan. In the space at the top of the divine inscription mountain, a fragrant roasted meat fragrance wafted in the air. The moment Qin Yun returned, he saw Xiao Yueme and company surrounding a large piece of burning charcoal. On top of the charcoal, there was a few meters long roasted pig. The surface of the roasted pig flickered with a golden luster, and emitted a mouth-watering fragrance of meat. Xiao Yueme held a large knife in her hand and prepared to cut it. Heishu, Bai Zhe, Little Black Donkey, Lu Jiyan, Xiao Hua and Xiao Yingying had all prepared a large table and were about to start eating. Qin Yun saw Shimen Dezhuang holding the small Pippy Pig in his arms and said with a smile, "If I didn't see Pippy Pig, I would have thought that you guys roasted it. Boss, you're thinking too much. Even if you beat us to death, we won't eat Pippy Pig. His meat is too smelly." The mountain god suddenly came out from a rock and laughed. Pippy Pig curled its lips and said, "If I didn't fart, you guys would have eaten me long ago." Xiao Yueme giggled and said, "Brother, on the way back, we caught quite a few large dark inscription beasts. You guys have a conscience. You waited for me to come back before eating." "Thank you," Qin Yun said with a smile. Chapter 1687. Sect Meeting. Qin Yun cursed in his heart. He thought that the roasted pig was waiting for him to return before eating. He never expected that they had already eaten several of them. "Who said I don't have good food?" Qin Yun laughed mischievously and said, "I killed the dark dragon on the road, ha ha. I have dragon meat in my hands, your pork is too weak, it can't be compared to my dragon meat, I don't want to eat it." As he spoke, he released the floating cloud pagoda and went inside to rest. The black donkey was the fastest to react. It immediately blocked him and laughed. "Boss, you're the best. We all acknowledge that. This pig was roasted a long time ago. We specially left it for you to eat. Brother, all the dark inscription beasts we encountered were killed by the little black donkey. He was in a hurry to roast them, so he didn't wait for you. Moreover, he ate the most. He was the one who had no conscience." Xiao Yueme immediately ran to Qin Yun's side and said with a charming smile. Qin Yun pinched her face and said with smile, "Yueme, you haven't even wiped the oil off your mouth. You dare say that you didn't eat much?" The little black donkey wanted to say something, but Xiao Yueme glared at it, and it didn't dare to continue. Qin Yun rolled up his sleeves and said with a smile, "I just happen to be hungry, then let me eat this pig alone." Xiao Hua smiled and said, "Boss, please go ahead. Anyway, we're all full. You can enjoy it yourself." Xiao Yingying took out a lot of delicious fruit juices and placed them on the side. She said with a sweet smile, "Brother Xiao Yun, quickly drink it. I specially prepared this for you. I haven't even given it to them." Xiao Yueme walked over and caressed Xiao Yingying's face. She said with angry smile, "Sister Yingying, you are so biased. You only let big brother drink and not me." Qin Yun said with smile, Come, let me introduce you to some new friends." He got Zi Qingqing, Shui Tianzi, Mo, and Little Jade Rabbit to come out. Xiao Yingying had seen Mo and Little Jade Rabbit before. When she saw the two cuties, she happily ran over and played with them. Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi were also relatively famous immortal kings in the Moon Palace. She was extremely powerful. Mo is helping Pippy Pig evolve the runes within his body. Pippy Pig is very respectful towards Mo, the high priest. He calls her big sister. Finally, Qin Yun let Yang Yang come out. He didn't know much about Yang Yang. When Yang Yang came out, she was a very small and beautiful sparrow, but the fire on her body caused people and beasts to feel an inexplicable sense of fear. "This is the 9th heaven sparrow," the black donkey cried out. "Sun Soul, 9th heaven Xian sparrow." Bai Zhe also cried out in surprise. When Yang Yang came out and saw the roasted pig, she flew over without saying a word. Then, she became very big and bit off more than half of it. F***CK. You can eat even more than me. The black donkey was astonished. "Boss, when did you get this thing? It's too scary." Heishu was a bit scared because he was more afraid of bird-type mythological beasts. Qin Yun said with smile, "Don't worry, Yang Yang is very obedient. The black donkey saw that Yang Yang ate the roasted pig in a few bites without even spitting out the bone. It muttered in low voice, "Not as obedient as me." Soon after, Qin Yun took out the 3 dragon tigers. They have already been roasted and Yang Yang is very happy to share them with everyone. Then he told everyone how he killed the 3 dragon tigers, causing everyone to exclaim in admiration again and again. Because they were able to eat 3 dragon tigers, Xiao Yuemei and the black donkey became crazy with joy. They kept shouting, "Yang Yang is invincible." Shui Tianzi lightly groaned and said, "That Chu Mingyu, she actually said that little brother Yun is infatuated with her. Why didn't she take a look at herself? When she was in the safe city, she was bragging everywhere, serves her right to die." After knowing that Chu and Shi family besieged Qin Yun, everyone became very angry. They wished they could kill their way into the inscription world and settle the debt with their families. Yang Yang only spat out fire to roast the 3 dragon tigers. She did not add any seasoning. Xiao Yuemei and the others are the most experienced in this aspect. They also cooperated and sprinkled all kinds of seasoning on the dragon tigers. Yang Yang turned into a small and beautiful sparrow and landed on the back of the little black donkey. The little black donkey looked at Yang Yang and asked, "Big sister, can you transform into a human?" Yang Yang nodded her head. Qin Yun is somewhat amazed and said, "Yang Yang, you can transform into a human? Quickly transform and see." Bai Zhe said with smile, "Some beasts are not used to transforming into human. They won't transform into human unless it's absolutely necessary." Yang Yang's body suddenly emitted a burst of purple golden light. A 2 to 3-year-old adorable little girl wearing a purple skirt appeared. This little girl looks like she was carved from jade, her long purple golden hair draped over her shoulders. She is wearing a purple skirt that looks like it was woven from purple feathers. It is very beautiful. She sat on the back of the little black donkey and said in her childish voice, "Little donkey, quickly run! Little donkey, quickly run!" I am not a donkey. Others might not know, but how could you, the 9th heaven Xian sparrow, not know? The little black donkey helplessly said, causing everyone to laugh. He doesn't dare to act out against the 9th heaven Xian sparrow because those 3 dragon tigers were killed by Yang Yang. If he wants to eat their meat, he must look at Yang Yang's face. What a cute little girl. Xiao Yingying hugged little Jade Rabbit and ran over to Yang Yang and said, "I am Xiao Yingying. This is a small pastry I made, it's for you to eat." Yang Yang took the pastry and stuffed it into her mouth. She very cutely ate it. After tasting the delicious taste of the pastry, her face revealed a sweet smile and she very happily jumped up and down. On her back, there is a pair of purple golden wings that allow her to fly very quickly. Xiao Yingying hugged Yang Yang and kissed her cute little face. She said with smile, "So cute." Zi Qingcheng and Shui Tianzi are very fond of this cute Yang Yang. They walked over and touched her cute little face. If Xiao Yuemei was not applying seasoning, she would have also gone over to play with Yang Yang. Xiao Hua chuckled and said, "Our inscription gate is truly powerful. With so many divine beasts gathered, there is no need to fear those dark royal race or emperor race." Mountain God laughed heartily and said, "Of course, our inscription gate is invincible in the 9 desolate." Shiman Dezhuang sighed with emotion and said, "Each and every one of them are divine beasts, heavenly rune beast, sun rune beast and so on. My Pippi Pig is too embarrassed to show his face." "Your Pippi Pig is arrogant and unparalleled under the heavens. It is also very awesome," Mountain God said with smile. "Old Mountain, you ate so many sacred mysterious silver crystals, how are you now? It seems like you have not changed at all." Qin Yun asked. "Great change. But it is not reflected in the large amount of divine fruits. The entire divine mountain has become even more sturdy, sacred mysterious silver crystal fruit trees can be grown. Instant space immortal iron trees are also transforming into instant space sacred iron trees. This is good, this is good, Qin Yun said with very satisfied smile. It is just that divine fruits that can increase cultivation have not appeared yet. Now the most powerful divine fruits can only allow people to become immortal king from 9th layer heavenly immortal. Any higher and it won't work. Mountain God sighed and said, It doesn't matter, as long as we have a large amount of sacred mysterious silver crystal fruits, it will be fine. Xiao Yuemei said, We will be a bit more diligent in the future and specially hunt dark inscription beasts to eat, then we will be able to break through. Right, eat. Yang is eating a divine fruit and very happily shouted. Yang looks like he is only 2 or 3 years old, but he is very formidable. Xiao Yuemei said with smile. Little cutie Yang, prepare to eat. While eating, we will discuss the future development direction of Inscription Gate. Qin Yun said, How about we call Xiao Ding and Grandpa Wei over? Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror and Wei Zhongjing are also members of Inscription Gate. No need, several people said in unison. Qin Yun looked at them and realized that they are those foodies. They must be worried that if they called Wei Zhongjing and Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror over, they would eat another portion of 3 Dragon Tiger. Alright, I will talk to them later. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled, then began cutting the meat of the 3 Dragon Tiger. Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi helped Yang and Xiao Yingying cut large pieces of meat and gave them to Yang and Xiao Yingying to eat. While eating, Qin Yun said, I want to rebuild the Magic Mirrors Formation Foundation. With the Magic Mirrors Formation Foundation, the Magic Mirror can be used again and we can obtain many resources through the Magic Mirror. Brother, can you really make it? I heard that it is very difficult. Xiao Yuemei said. Xiao Ding said before that it took you a very long time to set up the Magic Mirrors Formation Foundation in your past life. Xiao Huan nodded and said, The Magic Mirrors Formation Foundation is very complicated. Xiao Ding and I discussed this matter together. Qin Yun said with smile. It indeed requires some time but now is different from the past. I have even better spatial runes in my hands. No problem, I will definitely be able to make it. Inside this divine rune mountain, there is very good instant space sacred iron. It is something that I evolved. Adding the large amount of sacred mysterious silver crystals I ate, it can provide a lot of energy. Mountain God said. Everyone is very clear about the matter of the magic mirror. Moreover, it is something that many people want to restore. There was a period of time in Immortal Desolate because of the magic mirror, it became very convenient. Qin Yun said, If we can make the magic mirror, we will be able to have a certain amount of authority in Immortal Desolate through the magic mirror. There is another big reason why he wants to make the magic mirror, it is to find that dragon. He believes that the floating cloud Heavenly Seals dragon can certainly transform into a human. If he releases a message saying that he wants to find that dragon and it happens to be seen by that dragon, maybe it will come knocking on his door. Originally, Qin Yun thought that he would be able to find that dragon in the forest. But now he discovered that the dragon is in the direction of the Heavenly Crater. Since he has to go to the Heavenly Crater to face the Emperor race, he can only temporarily come back and look for it later. Although the 3 dragon tigers are very big, they are all very strong immortals, so they finished eating very quickly. Yang ate the most, moreover, the dragon heart with the most energy was given to her. After she finished eating, she began snoring loudly. Moreover, she did not turn into a bird and sleep next to Xiao Yingying. Qin Yun lightly sighed. He can only place Yang in the 9 Sun Divine Soul. He doesn't know whether Yang ate too much and wanted to sleep or because she used up all the core fragments. Yuemei, take a trip to Guanghan Palace and call Sister Linglong and the others over. We will begin setting up the Magic Mirrors Formation Foundation. Qin Yun said. All right. Xiao Yuemei immediately took action. Lu Jian went to Nether Sect to find Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror. and Xiao Hua also went to inquire about the emperor race. Qin Yun is inside the floating cloud pagoda, holding his god seat. He is trying to contact Immortal Desolate Sacred Master. Not long after, Immortal Desolate Sacred Master responded. Fool, I thought you were dead. I could not contact you these past few days. Qin Yun said in a bad mood. How can I be dead? I am the strongest invincible sacred master in Immortal Desolate. Even the Emperor race have to give me some face. Brat Qin, do you know where I am now? Immortal Desolate Sacred Master laughed loudly and said. Where? Qin Yun asked. Chapter 1688. Emperor Clan Temple. The Sacred Master of the Immortal Desolate was created by the 9 Yang Divine Palace back then. He was also an old fox who had lived for several epochs. It was not strange for him to be able to hook up with the D clans. What about the fellow from the Emperor clan? Is he easy to get along with? Asked Qin Yun. He was worried that the D clan was a very barbaric fellow. After all, he had 3 Sun Soul in his hands, so it was easy for him to be targeted. The Sacred Master of Immortal Desolate smiled and said, It's all right, it's all right. When I rushed to the bottom of the heavenly cavern, I helped them escape. Even though they are from the Imperial clan, they were still polite to me. Qin Yun secretly felt relieved. He asked again, Are the dragon race's 2 powerful immortal emperors also in the Imperial Race Divine Palace? And there is also Guang Han Palace's Xian Rujing. Some people from Nether Sect were invited to Emperor Race Divine Palace. Immortal Desolate's sacred leader said with smile. Holy Sun Ancient City's fence-sitters are also at Emperor Race Divine Palace. Knowing that Xian Rujing is safe and is in the Emperor Race Divine Palace, Qin Yun felt relieved. He continued to ask, Is the Emperor Race Divine Palace under the Heavenly Pit? The sinkhole was huge, over 1,000 miles wide. It was more than enough to contain a huge palace. The Sacred Master of the Immortal Desolate said, Yes. The Emperor clans and their Emperor clan's divine palace were all sealed beneath the sinkhole. That sinkhole led to the Dark Wasteland. I heard from the Emperor clans that the 9 Desolates had once been attacked by the Darkness Royal clan of the Dark Wastelands. The Emperor clans chased after them, and then they were trapped in the Heaven Pit. The Sovereign Race chased after the Dark Royalty, and brought the entire Sovereign Race Divine Palace with them? Qin Yun was somewhat alarmed. The Imperial clans were truly ambitious. That was the lair of an Imperial clan, yet they threw it all into the sinkhole. They said that they wanted to kill the Dark Royal race and invade the Dark Wasteland. That was why they moved their headquarters there. Who would have thought that they would be tricked by the Dark Royal race and be sealed in the middle of the passage? The Sacred Master of Immortal Desolate said, It took many years for them to grind away the seal and create that huge heavenly pit. Are all the Imperial clans in the Divine Desolate and Sacred Desolate the same? Qin Yun asked. I think so. The Sacred Master of Immortal Desolate suddenly said solemnly, Brat Qin, you better stay far away from the D clan and don't come into contact with them. I don't know if these guys will target you or not. Qin Yun is so famous and he has so many good things in his hands. There were so many people in the Imperial clan. Even if the big shots of the Imperial clan did not want Qin Yun's Sun Soul, the other juniors might covet it. After all, most young people didn't have any apprehensions. Moreover, they were competitive and liked to challenge those famous peers. If he tried his best not to come into contact with people from the Emperor clans, he would be able to avoid conflict with them. Then, in the current power structure of the Immortal Desolate, are there only the Dark Royal race and the Imperial race? Qin Yun asked. What about your Immortal Desolate temple? What is its position? My Immortal Desolate Palace and the Emperor clan are allies. In short, the Imperial clan is currently understanding the matter of the Immortal Desolate through the people from the Holy Sun Ancient City. They have already arranged for the people from the Holy Sun Ancient City to contact the big shots of the various powers to discuss. The Sacred Master of the Immortal Desolate said. What's the relationship between Holy Sun Ancient City and the Imperial clans? Qin Yun asked curiously. Holy Sun Ancient City once belonged to the Nine Yang Divine Palace, and the relationship between the Imperial clan and the Nine Yang Divine Palace is not shallow. It is said that the people of the Nine Yang Divine Palace and the Divine Inscription Palace are all descendants of the Imperial clan. The Sacred Master of Immortal Desolate said, That's why I have some relationship with the Imperial clan. After all, I was created by the Nine Yang Divine Palace. The Imperial clans are indeed very powerful. The Nine Yang Divine Palace and the Divine Inscription Palace are both powerful forces in the Nine Desolate. The Nine Yang Divine Palace had already left the Nine Desolate, but the Divine Inscription Palace was still there. The Immortal Desolate's Divine Inscription Palace retreated into the Divine Inscription World. The families in the Inscription World should be the descendants of the Imperial clan. They all have the bloodline of the Imperial clan in their bodies. It's just that their bloodline isn't that pure. What about the Darkness Royal race? Qin Yun asked. The Xie race and the Darkness Royal race are in cahoot. The Darkness Royal race came to the Immortal Desolate through the Heavenly Crater. The Heavenly Cavern was originally a passageway. However, it was blocked in order to seal the Imperial clan. The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master said, The Imperial Clan Divine Palace flew out of the Heavenly Cavern and the passageway is clear. This is similar to what Qin Yun guessed. The Darkness Royal race and the Xie race are of the same race. The Xie race being able to create those Xie suns was most likely related to the Dark race. The goal of the Dark Royal race is to control the Nine Suns, and the Nine Desolate is the territory of the Imperial clan. That is why these two powers have been at odds for so many years. The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master said again, Qin Brat, if the Imperial clan invites you to a meeting, you must not attend. Of course, they won't be able to find you. I know. Qin Yun sighed lightly. This Imperial clan is truly a colossus. The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master nodded and said, That's right, so you must be careful. The Divine Inscription Palace and the Dragon Race under the banner of the Imperial clan are both very powerful. The dragons of the Dragon Race are all loyal and devoted to the Imperial clan. I know that. Qin Yun originally thought that his relationship with the Red Sun Dragon Mother is pretty good. He even saved the Dragon Race warriors before, so he felt that his relationship with the Dragon Race is very good. But now it seems that if he and the Imperial clan were to oppose each other, the Dragon Race would most likely stand on the Imperial clan's side. Now, it would be best for Qin Yun to disappear and secretly develop. Let his inscription gate become stronger and then go out to wander. Otherwise, if he was targeted by the Imperial clan, it would be very dangerous. With the Sun Soul in his hands, he is definitely the #1 target of the Dark Royal race. Furthermore, there is also the Nine Suns sect. If he was truly targeted by the Imperial clan and the Dark Royal race, it would be difficult for Qin Yun to survive in the Immortal Desolate. The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master said with a smile, Qin Brat, don't panic. You are after all the King of the Gods. The Sun God's divine position is still in your hands. So what? The divine position is also related to the Imperial clan, they might be able to take it back. Qin Yun shook his head and sighed. That's impossible. The Imperial clan is still unable to command the gods of the Divine Desolate. The Nine Yang Divine Palace left the Nine Desolate and handed everything over to the gods of the Divine Desolate. The gods of the Divine Desolate once protected the Nine Desolate for a very long time. No one can take back their divine position. Qin Brat, you might not know this, but no one can interfere with the operation of the Nine Desolate. The Nine Suns, Nine Desolate and the divine position are all one and are controlled by the power of nature. The immortal desolate sacred master's words made Qin Yun think of many things. For example, the 9 suns falling down to destroy the world is a kind of self-protection method to not be controlled by evil forces. Did you find a rather special dragon at the bottom of the heavenly crater? Qin Yun recalled the floating cloud heavenly seal's dragon and hastily asked. Special dragon? I didn't find it. There are too many dragons in the dragon race. They are densely packed and messy. Moreover, we are fighting with the dark royal race at the bottom of the heavenly crater. It is very big. I only saw a small portion of the dragons. Immortal desolate sacred master said. The dragon I am looking for is not a dragon from the dragon race. Qin Yun said again. Not a dragon from the dragon race? Dragons belong to the dragon race. The immortal desolate sacred master said. Even mixed-blood dragon beasts belong to the dragon race. For example, dragon tiger, dragon eagle, dragon wolf, they all obey the orders of the dragon race. Qin Yun has never seen the floating cloud heavenly seal's dragon, so he has no way to describe it. He is also very puzzled as to why the head of the floating cloud heavenly seal is a dragon that is running all over the place. Brat Qin, you better not expose the fact that you are the reincarnation of the sun god. Don't let the imperial race know. The immortal desolate sacred master warned. Your deity position is the deity position of the king of gods. It is the most awesome thing in the 9 desolate. Really? How come I didn't discover it? Qin Yun looked left and right. He feels that it is just a small statue. There is nothing special about it. That is because your level is not high enough. Wait until your level is high enough, you will know how awesome the god position is. Immortal desolate sacred master said with smile. Enough talking, I want to go eat and drink. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, You damned head, why are you eating? Although I am refined, I also have a sense of taste. Eating delicacies is a kind of enjoyment you don't understand. Immortal desolate sacred master finished speaking, and then cut off the connection. Qin Yun let out a long sigh. I don't know if the appearance of the imperial race is a good or bad thing. My dragon is inside the imperial race divine palace. If this guy doesn't want to follow me, what should I do? It is a very important part of my floating cloud heavenly seal. Old uncle, boss uncle, I have something to talk to you about. Shimen Dezhuang shouted from outside. Qin Yun immediately walked out of the floating cloud pagoda and asked, Dezhuang, what's the matter? I have to leave for a while. My master is looking for me for an urgent matter. Shimen Dezhuang said with sad expression. Your master? Qin Yun said with smile. If you didn't mention it, I wouldn't have remembered. Your master is Tian Dao Zi, right? Tian Dao Zi inside the heavenly law altar is also a very mysterious guy. Shimen Dezhuang nodded his head, curled his lips and said, Master said that he moved the heavenly law altar to the heavenly province and is now heading towards the heavenly crater. He wants me to go accompany him. Then go, be together with him and broaden your knowledge. Qin Yun said with smile. He is also secretly amazed that Tian Dao Zi also wants to go to the imperial race divine palace above the heavenly crater. I am afraid that old bastard will trap me again and make me comprehend that damned heavenly Dao. Boss, you are the best. I love Inscription Gate the most. Shimen Dezhuang said. Dezhuang, I have a very difficult mission for you. Qin Yun patted Shimen Dezhuang's shoulder and said, Go with your master, you should be able to reach the imperial race divine palace. Help me inquire about a floating cloud heavenly seal dragon. After this matter is done, I will not treat you unfairly. Is it very important? Shimen Dezhuang asked. And very important. Qin Yun solemnly nodded. All right, but you must promise me that you will bring that girl Shimen Qinglian to Inscription Gate. Shimen Dezhuang said. Why? Qin Yun felt a headache just thinking about this female hoodlum. That girl Qinglian has mastered a part of the Titan god totem. Adding the part one have mastered, it will be complete. This way, our inscription gate will have complete Titan God totem. Shimin Dezhuang said with mischievous smile. Dezhuang, selling out your family like this is not very good. Qin Yun feels that this is somewhat inappropriate. It doesn't matter, I can't inherit Shimin family's patriarch position anyways, selling out is selling out. Shimin Dezhuang waved his hand and said with smile. Ah, why? Isn't your father Tai Dan the patriarch? Qin Yun said. Because all the elders of the family oppose me inheriting the patriarch position. Many people reject me. Shimin Dezhuang said in a very bad mood. Shimin Dezhuang used Pippi Pig's smelly fart to insult people all day long, yet he was only rejected. He was not beaten to death. It can be seen how benevolent Shimin family people are. Alright, I will recruit Qinglian. You can rest assured and go find that swindler Tian Daozi. Remember the mission I gave you. Qin Yun also agreed to Shimin Dezhuang's request. Chapter 1689. Chaos in Divine Desolate. Qin Yun warned Shimin Dezhuang again, telling him to go to the Emperor Race Divine Palace, as long as he sees those dragons. He should say that they are seal-head dragons and pay attention to their reaction. After Shimin Dezhuang memorized it, he told Qin Yun about Shimin Qinglian and warned him to bring Shimin Qinglian to the Divine Inscription Mountain. Shimin Dezhuang left with Pippi Pig. His Pippi Pig is very strong, and after Mo evolved its runes, it became even more powerful. Even the mountain god is shouting that he is invincible. Pippi Pig is following him. Shimin Dezhuang is very safe by himself. If he encounters an immortal emperor, Pippi Pig will release a fart and run away. After Shimin Dezhuang left, Qin Yun returned to the floating cloud pagoda. Other people of the inscription gate are busy with their own matters. Bai Zhe already left to meet other inscription beasts because Qin Yun told them to collect dragon heavenly runes. Inscription beasts with dragon heavenly runes are all very strong dragons. Dragon race has so many dragons but only a few have dragon heavenly runes. Yet Azure Dragon has it. It is clear that dragon heavenly runes are very rare. Collecting complete 9 dragon heavenly runes will be very beneficial to the inscription gate. When setting up a formation, adding 9 dragon heavenly runes will make it even more powerful, especially when setting up a killing formation. After arriving at the 20th floor, Qin Yun took out the large golden devil horn. Evil God, how is the situation in Divine Desolate? Qin Yun asked. Don't talk about it. Those damned dark royal race and emperor race are fighting, we are the fish in the moat. Evil God sighed and said. What? Is the battle intense? Qin Yun asked in amazement. Divine Desolate's dark royal race and emperor race are much more ferocious than immortal desolates, they are actually fighting. Of course it's intense. We gods with divine position can only stand on the emperor race's side. Evil God said. Alright, I won't bother you anymore. Be careful, don't die. When I go to Divine Desolate, I will come find you to eat and drink. Qin Yun said with smile. I won't die. Don't look down on me. Evil God curled his lips and said. Qin Yun stored away the devil horn, then took out the nether spirit's sacred blade and shouted towards the altar. Big Sister Star God. Star God did not immediately appear. Qin Yun shouted a few times and waited for a while. Only then did the bewitching and enchanting Star God appear on the altar. She was wearing a set of battle armor and her hair was a little messy. What happened? Qin Yun said in astonishment. Was there a battle just now? And the Star God nodded his head and said, that whatever dark royal clan and emperor clan, you should have seen them in the immortal desolate, right? I fought with people from dark royal race. I haven't met people from emperor race and I don't want to meet them. Qin Yun said. The Star God sighed. The divine wasteland is in chaos right now and is undergoing a great reshuffle. I took advantage of their chaotic battle to go in and reap some benefits. Qin Yun said with a smile. Did you get anything? The star god shook his head and said with a smile. The dark royalty and emperor clans are not easy to deal with. I was targeted by the experts of the dark royal family. Fortunately, I ran away quickly. But it doesn't matter, there will be plenty of opportunities. Big sister star god, I will sacrifice a wave of souls for you. Qin Yun controlled the nether spirit's sacred blade and released the collected souls. At the same time, he informed the star god of the situation in the immortal desolate. After the star god heard this, she was also very worried for Qin Yun. She warned, Xiao Yun, you must hide your son's soul well. Whether it is the dark royal race or the emperor race, they all want the sun soul. They are all very powerful races. Why do they keep staring at my sun soul? Qin Yun said helplessly. The sun soul of the 9 suns is very rare. Although it can be reborn after being obtained by someone, the sun soul does not often fall into the 9 desolate. If the sun soul falls into the 9 desolate and is not obtained by anyone, it will return to the sun when the sun is reborn. The star god said. Qin Yun understood. The 9 desolate had experienced many eras, but not many people had obtained the sun soul. And it was extremely rare for a person to possess 3 sun souls. In addition, there was also the 9 sun divine spirit. That was something comparable to the sun soul. Qin Yun had obtained the 9 sun divine spirit for so long, but he had yet to unleash the true power of the 9 sun divine spirit. He did not even know how strong the 9 sun divine spirit was. However, it was definitely a very powerful thing. After the star god absorbed the remnant soul of Qin Yun's death sacrifice, she said with a satisfied smile, Little brother Xiao Yun is so good, always thinking about me. With the appearance of the emperor race and the dark royal race, I can obtain quite a few good things. Next time, I'll send you some good things. Qin Yun nodded and said, The core fragment from before was very useful. It would be great if there were more. I'll try my best to get more for you. The star god said, There are still core fragments in the divine desolate. I'll think of a way to collect more for you. Sister star god, what's going on with the dark royal race? Qin Yun asked. They seem to be very strong. I don't have much information at the moment. I only know that the dark royal race and the emperor race appeared in the 9 desolate during the imperial race era. The star god said, The emperor race is a righteous faction and the dark royal race is an evil faction. However, the bloodlines in their bodies have something in common. This is great. The emperor race and the dark royal race will definitely fight to the death in the various desolate lands. Qin Yun shook his head and said, In order to become stronger, they will definitely plunder resources everywhere. Qin Yun is very worried that his divine inscription mountain will be targeted. The potential of that divine inscription mountain is very great and it can grow all kinds of formidable divine fruit. Especially now, it can grow sacred mysterious silver crystal fruit and instant space sacred iron fruit. This is simply heaven-defying. Xiao Yun, I'll go out and fish first. Kiss me goodbye. The star god smiled charmingly, made a kissing gesture towards Qin Yun and then disappeared. Qin Yun counted the number of core fragments he has left. There are still 5,000. Always using core fragments is not the way. Qin Yun said with frown, I need to quickly cultivate my own sun. Qin Yun also doesn't know how to quickly cultivate his own Sunday. He took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow and looked at the runes on it in a daze, trying to sense the things inside. They all cultivated sun core, why can't I? Qin Yun very much hopes that his sun-suppressing divine arrow can come back to life. After all, it is a very powerful divine weapon. He worked hard for 2 days but made no progress at all. Xiao Yuemei also returned. Yuemei, where are Sister Linglong and others? Qin Yun saw that Xiao Yuemei returned on her own and asked with frown. They are not in the Guanghan Palace. Xiao Yuemei puffed up her cheeks and said, Brother, I was a bit late, they are already on their way to the Emperor Race Divine Palace. Why are they going to the Emperor Race Divine Palace? Qin Yun said in amazement. They are going to collect runes. Sister Shuiru, Jingmeng and others are also going. Xiao Yuemei stamped her foot and pouted coquettishly. That Emperor Race Divine Palace is really... Qin Yun caressed her face and said with smile. It's fine, wait for them to come back before we begin. Mountain God said, A3. Our divine inscription mountain can't be too close to the Emperor Race. If they know our secret, those guys will definitely keep an eye on us. Xiao Yuemei said, Oh, that's right, I saw Big Sister in the Guanghan Palace. Yuelon is in the Guanghan Palace? She returned. Qin Yun very happily said, Where is Sister Kiru? Sister Kiru and Big Sister Master are together. I don't know what they are doing. In short, Big Sister, Yu Shaoling and Big Sister Yi have all returned. Xiao Yuemei said. Qin Yun pinched her face and said with smile, Then why didn't you let Yuelon come find me? Big Sister is resting in the Guanghan Palace. She said she will come find you as soon as possible. Xiao Yuemei said with smile, Brother, Big Sister is in a very good mood, she also wants to see you very much. I will wait for her. Qin Yun entered the floating cloud pagoda and continued researching sun-suppressing divine arrow. He also hopes that Xiao Yuelon will come quickly. He wants to ask her how she cultivated sun core and then conveniently ask about Yao Fong. Yao Feng's avatar Lu Yu Shuyan has gone to Divine Desolate. Divine Desolate is in chaos now, it makes him very worried. Moreover, he wants to know whether or not Yao Feng has changed. How is her cultivation of 9 Sun World Extermination scripture? Qin Yun stayed inside the floating cloud pagoda for half a day. Xiao Yuelon also arrived. Xiao Yuelon came here on her own. Xiao Yuemei gave her teleportation talisman and soul-chasing talisman to find Divine Inscription Mountain. Qin Yun walked out of the floating cloud pagoda and saw Xiao Yuelon holding a fruit in her hand and eating it. She is wearing a simple and elegant white dress. Her high ponytail hair makes her look fresh and pretty. After eating the delicious fruit, her face is filled with a sweet smile. She is so happy that she squinted her eyes and laughed lightly. Big Sister Yuelon, there's juice here, drink it. Xiao Yingying brought over a large cup of juice and handed it over to Xiao Yuelon. Sister, I am going out to patrol. Xiao Yuemei is riding a very large divine bee, she said with charming smile. I am leaving. Xiao Yuelon saw Qin Yun walk over. She also handed over the half-drunk juice to Qin Yun and drank a mouthful. After Qin Yun drank a mouthful, he took a bite of the fruit in her hand and said with smile, Yuelon, I don't think I have seen you enjoy delicious food, you also seem to like eating. Xiao Yun, although I am your wife, you and I have not been together for a long time, so you don't completely understand me. Xiao Yuelon said with light smile. Xiao Yingying is busy with her matters, she wants to learn inscription from Xiao Hua. As for Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi, they are helping Xiao Hua and Xiao Yingying refine materials. They are very proficient in refining materials, Yao Feng taught them before. Later on, they went to the Guanghan Palace and often hung out with Jian, Linglong and the others. Qin Yun pulled Xiao Yuelon into the floating cloud pagoda and arrived at the 20th floor. There are so many delicious things in this place, no wonder that little girl Yuemei doesn't want to leave. After Xiao Yuelon finished drinking and eating, she praised with smile and said, The fruit and juice are very sweet. Your mouth was originally very sweet, now it must be even sweeter, come let me kiss you. Qin Yun hugged Xiao Yuelon and said with mischievous smile, I will kiss you. Xiao Yuelon smiled and directly kissed Qin Yun. The young husband and wife affectionately kissed each other for a while, they happily hugged each other, lying on the same bed and saying small words of love. Chapter 1690. 1690 Chapter 1690 Armament Divine Mountain. When Qin Yun saw Yu Shaoling, this sun fairy, he knew that she is a rogue fairy. Back then, he was almost taken by Yu Shaoling. Of course not, I have always been like this. Xiao Yuelon gently patted Qin Yun's cheek, and said with a smile, Xiao Yun, you didn't use the memories of your previous life, you naturally don't know what I am like. Qin Yun curled his lips, pinched Xiao Yuelon's thigh and scolded, bullying me for not awakening my memories. You are bad. Xiao Yun, do you want to try and see if you are cursed like your previous life in this life? Xiao Yuelon's beautiful eyes flashed with a hint of flirtatious charm. It is very provocative. Qin Yun's previous life was cursed. He could not have a wedding night with a woman. He could not even kiss a woman. Therefore, he lived for a long time in his previous life, and even when he died, he maintained his virginity. It was a great tragedy. Can I do it now? Qin Yun is somewhat excited. Why not? Today, no matter what happens, it can't stop us husband and wife from having our wedding night. Xiao Yuelon smiled tenderly. She tore off Qin Yun's clothes and slowly took off her outer clothes. Ling Yun is extremely nervous at this moment. She has been waiting for this moment for a long time. She is the same as Qin Yun, she doesn't dare to breathe loudly. Xiao Yuelon looked at Qin Yun affectionately. The usually ice-cold and murderous which is now gentle and charming. This made Qin Yun love this slightly mysterious wife even more. Yuelon, I love you. Qin Yun hugged Xiao Yuelon and said with a deep smile. Xiao Yun, from today onwards, you are my real husband. Xiao Yuelon smiled slightly. Husband, my wife, I will eat you today. The 20th floor of the floating cloud pagoda is suddenly filled with a strong aura of love. The young couple has experienced 2 lives and lived and died together. At this moment, it is finally their wedding night. Half a day later, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are soaking in the bath. That's great. The vicious curse from my previous life didn't follow me in this life. Qin Yun said with a silly smile. As a husband for the first time, he is also very happy. He has never experienced such a beautiful feeling. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. Do you feel that you suffered a lot in the past? I heard that you have many opportunities to interact with those beauties. Of course not. You are my wife, but we have not consummated our marriage. I have always felt very guilty. Qin Yun said with smile. Yuelon, I am a good person. Scoundrel, just now. So bad. Xiao Yuelon rebuked Qin Yun and then giggled. You don't know anything. You don't understand either, yet you're still laughing at me. Qin Yun reached out and pinched Xiao Yuelon's face as he giggled. Qin Yun suddenly took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow and said, Yuelon, my sun-suppressing divine arrow is still dead, what about yours? Xiao Yuelon's sun-suppressing divine arrow is red and it carries a dense killing intent. At this moment, she also took it out. It flickered with a red light, as if it was filled with a very strong energy. Xiao Yun, you actually didn't cultivate the heart of the sun. Xiao Yuelon is somewhat shocked. I can't cultivate it. Qin Yun sighed and said, How do you cultivate it? Soon after, Xiao Yuelon talked about how she cultivated the heart of the sun. It sounds very simple. She just had to comprehend the sun-suppressing divine arrow and then follow the guidance of the sun-suppressing divine arrow and naturally cultivate it. Damn it, I worked so hard for so long but the sun-suppressing divine arrow didn't guide me. Qin Yun cursed in low voice. Could it be that the time is not ripe? Xiao Yuelon said with frown. Xiao Yun, next time you see Sister Yang, ask her what's going on. She understands these things better. Speaking of Yang Shirue, Qin Yun recalled something and said, Yuelon, Sister Yang cultivated the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra with me and used that divine fusion technique. That is the second level of the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Xiao Yuelon smiled naughtily. There is still the third level, it is to. Qin Yun also suddenly understood what the third level is. Yuelon, when you were with Sister Yao Fong, did she have any other reaction? Qin Yun asked. No, it's still the same as before. Xiao Yuelon thought for a moment, then shook her head and said, Why are you asking this? Soon after, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon talked about Lu Yu's Shuyan matter. After Xiao Yuelon finished listening, her expression is calm. Qin Yun caressed her face and said, Yuelon, you and Sister Yao Fong seem to have multifaceted personalities. You two are very similar. You can't be Sister Yao Fong's avatar, right? Of course I am not. Xiao Yuelon leaned on Qin Yun's shoulder, gently stirred the water in the bath and said, Xiao Yun, you should be able to guess that Sister Yao Fong has God position. Qin Yun hugged the beauty in the water and nodded. She can create avatars, she must have God position. That's why I think you and Yueme are her avatars. She is Slaughter God, Xiao Yuelon said, and me and Yueme are her disciples. In order to let us not die and reincarnate, she gave me and Yueme one soul and one spirit. You and Yueme both have one soul and one spirit? Qin Yun said in shock. And she temporarily placed us in our souls, raised us and accepted us as disciples. Xiao Yuelon said, She didn't let me tell you these things. Why? Qin Yun said with frown. Why don't you guess? Xiao Yuelon said with charming smile. You are my little husband, that's why I told you. Qin Yun rubbed her face and said, You hid it from me for so long, truly. Xiao Yuelon stuck out her tongue and said with smile, Little husband, you must promise me not to tell Sister Yao Fong about this. I won't tell her. You are my little wife, I promise you. Qin Yun kissed Xiao Yuelon's forehead and said with smile, Then is she Yao Fong, Fong Yueyao or Lu Yu Shuyan? If you want to call her Sister Yao Fong, call her Sister Yao Fong. If you want to call her Lu Yu Shuyan, call her Lu Yu Shuyan. She is the same person anyway. Xiao Yuelon giggled and said, Little wife, can you tell little husband why Sister Yao Fong told you to hide it from me? Qin Yun is very curious and asked with smile. I also don't know, Xiao Yuelon said, but I suspect that this is related to your dispute in Divine Desolate. Big Sister Master and Sister Kiru have known each other for a long time. Big Sister Master calls Sister Kiru Xiao Ro. Their relationship is very good. And Sister Kiru is Moon God. Qin Yun carefully thought about it and said with nod, They must have had a dispute with my King of Gods in Divine Desolate. Could it be that I bullied her in Divine Desolate? Don't say any more, Big Sister Master doesn't hate you anymore. Xiao Yuelon said with naughty smile. Do you want me to help you test her and see how she feels about you? Little wife, don't cause trouble for me. Qin Yun pinched her nose. I am your first wife, Big Sister Master might become your second wife in the future, of course I have to check. Xiao Yuelon giggled and said, Little husband, you know so many beauties but you don't want them, I want them. Qin Yun is somewhat speechless and said, When you were with Sister Kiru and the others, did you see the heaven-leaping shuttle? Did Sister Kiru obtain Nether Sun spirits? Qin Yun has 2 Nether Sun spirit. I found 2 Nether Sun spirits. Sister Kiru said that there is a problem with those 2 Nether Sun spirits. They need to be stabilized in her 9 Divine Spirit for a period of time before they can be given to you. Sister Kiru and Big Sister Master will now go and find your heaven-leaping shuttle together. That place is very dangerous, they won't let us go. Xiao Yuelon said. What about little Nianyun? Qin Yun asked. Little Nianyun and Sister Kiru are together, they are very awesome, especially when they fuse together, their strength is very scary. Xiao Yuelon said with an envious expression. Having avatars is very good. Qin Yun also exclaimed in admiration again and again. Xiao Yun, how is the progress of your floating cloud Heavenly Seals dragon? Xiao Yuelon asked. A3. It's hard to explain in a few words. How did my floating cloud Heavenly Seal encounter such a dragon? It runs around blindly all day, causing me to have a hard time looking for it. Now it is in some emperor race divine palace. Qin Yun shook his head and sighed. Xiao Yuelon said, It's fine, we will definitely find it. At that time, we will be going to Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. 3. Cloud Dragon Mountain Range might be targeted by Dark Royal race. If Dark Royal race is going to Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, will Emperor race also go there? Qin Yun very worriedly said. That's for sure. Xiao Yuelon's expression turned cold and said, We must become stronger, whoever dares to snatch the thing we are looking for will die. Qin Yun said, Yuelon, follow me for a period of time. If we cultivate together, we will become stronger even faster. All right. Xiao Yuelon nodded and said with smile, This way I can also protect you. However, I want you Xiaoling to follow me. If she is not with me for a day, she will be unhappy. That immoral elf. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, You Xiaoling is also very awesome. She is a sun elf. With her help, you might be able to cultivate sun core. Xiao Yuelon said, That's true. Qin Yun nodded. Xiao Yuelon left the bath and put on her clothes. Qin Yun combed her hair into a ponytail and then sent her out of the Divine Inscription Mountain to find Yu Xiaoling. Originally, he wanted Xiao Yuelon to call Yi Yaoxue along, but Yi Yaoxue also went to the Emperor Race Divine Palace. Qin Yun is inside the Divine Inscription Mountain. He is looking at the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand. He wants to quickly cultivate Sun Core. With the sun-suppressing divine arrow and 9 heavens dragon lion cannon, he will be able to deliver a fatal strike. Even if he is facing a slightly stronger opponent, he will still be able to kill them. Old Mountain, how is the defense of the Divine Inscription Mountain now? Can it withstand the attack of immortal emperors? Qin Yun asked. If those immortal emperor ancient city people attack me again, I will certainly be able to resist. As for those emperor race, I don't know. Mountain God said. The defense of the Divine Inscription Mountain is strong enough, but it doesn't have strong enough attack. Boss Sect Master, I think we can refine some weapons for this mountain. Xiaohua said. Mountain God's attack can only collide and devour, but it can be easily avoided. If someone attacks the mountain and the Divine Inscription Mountain has an effective counterattack method, it will be able to beat up the attacker. How about we refine some cannons? Or something that can spit fire, then make some formidable killing formations? Qin Yun said with smile. Chapter 1691. Darkness Attack. Divine Mountain itself is a very large energy source. It can provide an unending stream of energy. If there are many killing formations and all kinds of offensive weapons on the Divine Mountain, they can use the energy source of the Divine Mountain to burst out with very strong might. Even if they encounter a very strong person besieging them, not only can the Divine Mountain have very strong defense, it also has very strong counterattack power. The reason why the Divine Mountain was besieged by those immortal emperors before was because it didn't have enough powerful counterattack method. It had no choice but to flee. This is indeed a good idea, but can the equipment you refine deal with those powerful immortal emperors? Mountain God is also very happy, he said with smile. If it can kill those immortal emperors besieging them, then it will be invincible. This is hard to say. I have to carefully ponder over it. Qin Yun said with frown. Old Mountain, the energy released by this Divine Mountain needs to have immortal emperor power. I already have immortal emperor power, but it is not easy to use it. Mountain God said. I have devoured so many sacred mysterious silver crystals, plus I have devoured so many divine mountains, I have a lot of energy inside. What I need to do now is to let them evolve and become stronger. The existence of this divine mountain is very special. The energy stored inside is indeed very strong. However, the mountain god is unable to use it through the divine mountain. It is equivalent to a person with extremely high cultivation and formidable power but without good martial skills. They are unable to dig out the greatest power. Alright, then let's properly discuss this. Qin Yun also took advantage of this moment to discuss with Mountain God and Xiao Hua what kind of things they should make to arm the divine mountain. Zi Qingqing and Shui Tianzi are also listening from the side. When the time comes, they will also need to help refine some materials. They are not proficient in carving runes, but they are very proficient in refining materials. For example, refining formation pillars, making flag formations, and so on. This will be of great help. After discussion, they decided to refine 9 huge dragon cannons on the divine mountain. Dragon cannons can condense energy and shoot out. They can also be filled with refined powerful artillery shells or shot out a large number of cannon arrows and so on. Qin Yun has a lot of holy oil. When the mountain god saw the holy oil, he is certain that after he eats it, he will be able to condense a holy oil spring inside the divine rune mountain. He can absorb the power of the sun or the sacred profound silver crystal fruit to continuously regenerate the holy oil. This way, the 9 dragon cannons can absorb the holy oil and combine it with the formidable immortal emperor power to produce a very strong power. It could even spew out very strong flames. To withstand an extremely strong power, you need at least holy level materials, right? Zi Qingqing said. 9 giant dragon cannons. This requires a lot of holy level materials. Qin Yun said with smile. That is not a problem. The biggest problem is how to refine it. This is a very large project. We don't have enough manpower, Xiao Hua said. Let's wait for Old Wei and Little Ding to come over first. They are both immortal emperors. With their participation, it should be easier. Shui Tianzi said, Old Xiao, I heard that you can go to the inscription world. Do you want to ask someone from the inscription world for help? Xiao Hua shook his head and said, I've considered it before, but the inscription world itself is the divine inscription palace, and the relationship between the divine inscription palace and the imperial clan is very good, so I'm not at ease. If the people of the inscription world were to target Qin Yun's sun soul and call the people from the imperial clan over, they would be in trouble. We have to use our own people to be at ease. Zi Qingqing said, I wonder if the imperial clan has any plans to deal with the divine inscription mountain. Don't worry, even if they want to deal with us, it won't be that easy. The mountain god laughed and said, I have become very strong now. If the divine inscription mountain also has equipment, I can let them experience my invincible might. Qin Yun said, All of you wait here. He ran into the floating cloud pagoda and contacted the star god. Because the star god has received many sacrifices and obtained a large amount of sacrificial power, she has become stronger and stronger. In addition, there are many sun divine stones in the divine desolate, so she can obtain many good things. She is one of the top gods. Even though her enemies are all over the divine desolate, she can still obtain many resources. Qin Yun called out to the small and exquisite star god altar. After waiting for more than 4 hours, the star god finally responded. After the star god appeared, the charming and moving her looked slightly tired, making her look even more miserable and moving. Qin Yun could not help but reach out to fiddle with her somewhat messy hair. However, he could not touch it because it was only the illusory image of the star god. Sister Star God, are you injured? Qin Yun asked anxiously when he saw that the red armor on the star god's body was somewhat damaged. No, I just met some strong fellows. The star god smiled and said, Xiao Yun, what's the urgent matter? I need some materials. Qin Yun told the star god about the 9 great dragon cannons he wanted to refine. After the star god heard this, she said, The reason you are refining these things is to unearth the power of the divine inscription mountain. and if the divine inscription mountain can continue to evolve, it might even be able to come to the divine desolate in the future. Sister Star God, do you have any suggestions? Qin Yun asked. My suggestion is that when refining the equipment of the divine inscription mountain, the materials used must be divine level. If it's only saint level, then it won't take long to go to the sacred desolate, the Star God said. But this requires a lot of divine level materials. Qin Yun sighed and said, moreover, it's also very difficult for us to deal with divine level materials. I'll help you guys. The Star God smiled and said, I fished up a lot of good things in the chaotic battle. Really? What did you get? Qin Yun asked in pleasant surprise. The corpses of some divine level beasts. There are also many damaged weapons. Although those weapons are damaged and they are not good quality divine weapons, they are still very powerful for you guys. After melting them, you can use them to make divine level cannons. The Star God laughed. That's great. Sister Star God, you've helped us a lot. Qin Yun is very happy. Originally, he only planned to find the Star God to get some divine iron powder. I also picked up a lot of corpses of divine level beasts. Those corpses and whatnot should be of great use to you guys. The Star God said again. After Qin Yun was happy, he asked worriedly, then how do we get them? It won't be easy to get so many things, right? Didn't the space god open a special spatial passageway for me? I'll put those things into my storage magic tool, and then send my storage magic tool to you. The Star God said. The space god is now helping the Imperial race in battle. The other gods are very busy. I can take advantage of this time to get more things for you. Normally, when a large amount of things were transmitted from the divine desolate to the lower realms, it would be sensed by many powerful gods, and the 9 sun sects would also know. However, a great war has broken out in the divine desolate. The Imperial race and the Dark Royal race are fighting very fiercely. They simply can't care about these things. Alright. Qin Yun knew that the Star God is very resourceful. Xiao Yun, wait a bit longer. I'll go get 9 divine level dragon corpses. When the time comes, I'll directly refine the dragon heads into cannons. It might be better, the Star God said with smile. I'll rest first, wait for my news. The dragons of the divine desolate are all divine level. If he could get those huge dragon heads to use as dragon cannons, he wouldn't need to refine them at all. He would just need to carve runes on them. Qin Yun was worried about how to refine the cannon barrel, but after contacting the Star God, he felt that it was not a problem at all. Qin Yun walked out of the floating cloud pagoda in an extremely good mood. Boss, did you contact the Star God? Xiao Hua asked. He knows that Qin Yun is following the Star God. And there's good news. The Star God said that it will be of great help to us. When the time comes, we might not even need to refine those cannons. Qin Yun chuckled and said, we only need to set up killing formations and defensive formations. Shui Tianzi said with smile. Refining formation pillars and formation flags is relatively easy. Just as Qin Yun's mood is extremely good, Xiao Yuemei flew back in panic. The divine bee she is riding on has a few broken legs. What's wrong? Qin Yun asked anxiously. Xieyang race, no, it's the Dark Royal race, they found us. I don't know how they found us, they are surrounding us from all directions. Xiao Yuemei said anxiously. Qin Yun and company's expression immediately became gloomy. Yuemei, send a message to Yuelon, tell her not to come for now. I'll let her come after seeing the situation. Qin Yun said. All right. Xiao Yuemei nodded. Old Xiao, send a message to Xiao Lu and others, tell them not to rush to Divine Inscription Mountain. Wait until we know how many Dark Royal race people are here, then we will contact them. Qin Yun said to Xiao Hua. Lu Jian went to find Wei Zhongzheng and Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror. And Little Black Donkey went to find Black Rat by Zhe and told them not to come back for now. If the Dark Royal Race attack the mountain and they come back, they will have to face the Dark Royal Race, maybe they will be besieged. Qin Yun also ordered Little Black Donkey to go to Nether Sect and ask them to scout for information about the Dark Royal Race. Mountain God said, "Boss, when can I start moving the Divine Mountain?" Xiao Yueme hastily returned after sending the message to Xiao Yuelon. "Brother, there are many Dark Royal Race people. There are many giant lizard dragons in the sky and dark beasts and dark warriors on the ground." Xiao Yueme very angrily said, "These bastards are truly repulsive. Old Mountain, you can start running. It would be best if they can sense the Divine Mountain. We want them to keep chasing and attacking. We need to take advantage of this time to refine counterattack equipment and then kill them all," Qin Yun said. With the help of Star God, Qin Yun is confident that he can quickly refine a powerful counterattack equipment and let the Divine Mountain possess a powerful weapon. "Alright." Mountain God nodded and immediately controlled the Divine Mountain to move. The Divine Mountain is not moving horizontally on the ground, rather it suddenly moved several 10,000 meters in an instant. This way, the Dark Royal Race can sense it one after another. Qin Yun took out Saint Oil and other materials and said, "Start refining formation pillars and flags. Not only we want to exterminate these bastards who are besieging us, we also want to show the Dark Royal Race some color and let them feel the might of our inscription gate." Chapter 1692. Black Tortoise Great Formation. Qin Yun and the others are very cautious towards the Emperor race. After all, their Divine Inscription Mountain is a very special existence in Immortal Desolate. Everyone knows that Divine Inscription Mountain can devour other Divine Mountains to quickly evolve. This kind of Divine Mountain is also something that every faction wants to occupy. Furthermore, Divine Inscription Mountain can grow a large number of divine fruit. Moreover, Qin Yun is the master of Divine Inscription Mountain. He already has Sun Soul, so he is even more important. Now that Emperor Race is mentioned, Qin Yun is also very worried. Because Emperor Race is very friendly with all the major factions, for example, Guang Han Palace, Nether Sect, Immortal Desolate Holy Palace. And these factions have very good relationship with him. Dark Royal Race came to find us first. I wonder if Emperor Race will come. Zi Qingqing said. Even if Emperor Race comes, what can they do? It is impossible for them to touch Divine Inscription Mountain. Xiao Yueme said with smile. What kind of storm has Divine Inscription Mountain not seen before? We are not afraid of Emperor Race. It is impossible to say that they are not afraid because Emperor Race can mobilize the entire dragon race. Qin Yun said, "We are still safe now. We will know the attitude of Emperor Race very soon. Guang Han Palace and Nether Sect will definitely stand on Divine Inscription Mountain's side. Emperor Race has just broken the seal, moreover they will have to face the powerful Dark Royal Race. They will definitely not want to provoke us." Shui Tianzi said. Qin Yun nodded. He also feels the same way. Even if Emperor Race really wants his Sun Soul, if they attack now, they will have to consider the consequences. Qin Yun destroyed 2 sun altars and took down Xieyang. Although he provoked many enemies, he has now intimidated many factions. For example, the Immortal Emperor Ancient City was almost destroyed because they attacked Divine Inscription Mountain. Qin Yun's decision to attack the Immortal Emperor Ancient City is very correct. It will be a great deterrent. He returned to Floating Cloud Pagoda, took out his divine position and contacted Immortal Desolate Sacred Master. Not long after, he contacted Immortal Desolate Sacred Master. It is already dark. Immortal Desolate Sacred Master should be resting. Are you still in the Emperor Race Divine Palace? Qin Yun asked. Yes. Immortal Desolate Sacred Master said with smile. Qin Yun, Emperor Race Divine Palace had a meeting in the past 2 days. This is also what Qin Yun wants to know. What did they say? Asked Qin Yun anxiously. Although the Emperor clan broke the seal, they did not completely suppress the Dark Royalty. The Dark King race escaped through the cracks in the ground. The Immortal Desolate's sacred master said solemnly. In other words, many Dark Royal race people from the Immortal Desolate have come. Qin Yun said, "That's right, even the Dark Royal race attacked my divine inscription mountain. How did these guys find me?" "The Dark Royal family went to find you? It seems like they most likely want to obtain the Sun Soul," the Immortal Desolate Sacred Master exclaimed. "What about the Emperor clans? Do you have any designs on my Sun Soul?" Qin Yun asked. "Hard to say." The Sacred Master of the Immortal Desolate Land took a deep breath and sighed, half and half. "There are also several factions within the Imperial family. Some people want you to hand over your Sun Soul, some want you to lend your Sun Soul to them. There are also some who don't want to provoke you." "Then what was the result?" asked Qin Yun. "It's hard to say. In short, there are people in the Emperor clan who want to snatch your Sun Soul. Be careful," the Immortal Desolate Sacred Master said. "Oh right, help me find a special dragon related to my floating cloud heavenly seal." Qin Yun told the Immortal Desolate Sacred Master about the situation of his floating cloud heavenly seal. After the Immortal Desolate Sacred Master heard this, he said, "This is difficult. That dragon definitely doesn't want to go back." "Why?" Qin Yun asked. "That's a living dragon. Don't tell me it will become a part of your floating cloud heavenly seal all day long? That's impossible." The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master laughed. "In any case, if it was me, I definitely wouldn't do it. Help me find it," Qin Yun said. "Alright." The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master also agreed. "Thank you first," Qin Yun said. "I'm being watched by the Dark Royal race. I have to think of a way to get rid of these guys." The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master said, "The Dark Royal race and the Imperial race have been fighting for a long time. The Imperial race's intention is to stop fighting with the Dark Royal race for a period of time and then develop their own strength. Let them. Anyways, as long as they provoke me, I will make them bleed," Qin Yun said. "If they stop fighting, the Imperial race and the Dark Royal race will jointly establish the rules of Immortal Desolate and everyone will have to abide by them." The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master said again. "What about you? You are the Immortal Desolate Sacred Master. Are you just going to let them do whatever they want?" Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "I will be in charge of management." The Immortal Desolate Sacred Master said with mischievous smile, "The Imperial race still gives me a lot of face. Up to you." After cutting off the connection, Qin Yun went out to refine formation pillars and flags with everyone. Xiao Yuanmei said, "Brother, Little Black Donkey said that his Xian Wu totem is very strong, especially when used for defense." "It is indeed very good." Qin Yun nodded. "How about this, when we set up the defensive formation, we will use Xian Wu totem as the main," Xiao Yuanmei said. "Alright, but it would be best if we can transform this mountain into Xian Wu." Qin Yun looked at the mountain god and said with smile, "Can you transform?" "Transform into that donkey?" The mountain god said with disdainful expression, "I won't transform." "Of course not," Xiao Hua said with mischievous smile. Then he took out a portrait of a mighty giant tortoise and a large snake coiled around it. Xiao Yuanmei said, "Old Mountain, you can transform the inscription Divine Mountain into a large tortoise." The mountain god said somewhat unhappily, "Large tortoise? This is not too good. Wouldn't it be a kind of turtle retreat?" "It doesn't matter, as long as the defense is strong enough, it will be fine," Qin Yun said with smile. "Wait until we kill them all, let's see who will laugh at us for being a turtle." "Indeed. We will surely kill those Dark Royal race bastards," Xiao Yuanmei said with mischievous smile. "Old Mountain, quickly start transforming." The mountain god can transform the inscription Divine Mountain, so he can only transform into a large tortoise. From outside, it looks like a small tortoise-shaped mountain. Naturally, this small mountain can travel through space. It will be very difficult for those lizard dragons to catch up to it. The mountain god is now controlling the inscription divine mountain to travel through space, letting those dark royal race bastards chase after it. Within the immortal desolate, only the immortal desolate sacred master can surpass the immortal emperor realm, the others can only reach the immortal emperor realm at most. With the inscription divine mountain's current defense, as long as it is not facing the immortal desolate sacred master, it can run away. Wait for little black donkey to come back. I will make it the foundation of the black tortoise great formation. Qin Yun said with smile. We can't let this guy eat and drink for free. Xiao Yuemei said, Brother, how did little black donkey become like that? It doesn't look like a black tortoise at all. Who knows, after it comes back, it will have to work. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled, then released a large amount of saint oil to smelt all kinds of materials. 3 days passed by and the little black donkey returned. He used the soul-chasing talisman to catch up to the inscription divine mountain. Seeing the inscription divine mountain transform into a tortoise, he felt a very familiar feeling. Old mountain, you really know how to transform. You are truly invincible after transforming into this form. Little black donkey said with mischievous smile. Brother donkey, they want to set up some black tortoise great formation to defend. Mountain god said. Is that so? This is a very wise choice. My black tortoise great god's totem will be very useful. Little black donkey very happily laughed and said, With me, black tortoise great god, this great formation will surely become even stronger. Qin Yun said with smile. So you will become the foundation of the formation. When the great formation needs defense, you will release energy to make the black tortoise great formation even stronger. Little black donkey is somewhat unwilling, it muttered. I am a grand black tortoise great god, how can I do this kind of work? I am not tired and I still have something to eat, why not? Xiao Yuemei said with charming smile. That's true. Little black donkey became very excited just thinking about having something to eat. There are also many formation pillars and flags. Qin Yun began carving black tortoise totems on them. When he is carving, he fused the needle spirit with the floating cloud divine needle. This way, he can carve the black tortoise totem, which will transform into a dragon, making it even more powerful. Since he has totem inscription spirit and beast king inscription spirit, the black tortoise totems he carved caused the little black donkey to become dumbstruck. Especially when it saw the dragon transformation runes, it found it even more unbelievable. Because the black tortoise totems carved by Qin Yun are much more powerful than the ones on its back. Qin Yun spent a few days to finally complete the formation. Then, he handed over the formation pillars and formation flags to the mountain god. He asked him to place them in appropriate locations inside and outside the divine inscription mountain and then connect them to the energy source inside the divine inscription mountain. This formation is also controlled by mountain god. When needed, little black donkey can join in and let the black tortoise great formation display even more powerful defense. The defensive formation is ready. Next is the killing formation and the counterattack dragon cannon. Mountain god said with mischievous smile. He secretly tested the black tortoise great formation and can feel that its defense is very strong. With a strong enough defense, Qin Yun will have enough confidence when facing Xieyang. His goal is to kill Xieyang. Xieyang can also travel through space. Moreover, the energy source inside him is very powerful. Inside his floating cloud pagoda, there is an energy source inside Xieyang. That energy source is what he needs to activate the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun entered the floating cloud pagoda and contacted Star God. Star God did not disappoint Qin Yun. He gave Qin Yun 10 god-level giant dragons, as well as many broken weapons and armors, All of them were made from god-level materials in the divine desolate. There are also many arrows and spears. This way, Qin Yun doesn't need to make those cannon arrows anymore. On the prairie inside the divine rune mountain, there are 10 giant dragon corpses and a large pile of broken weapons from the divine desolate. This made Xiao Hua and the others dumbfounded. The giant dragon's body has been cut, its head has been chopped off. It seems like it is a dragon from the dark royal race. Let's eat first. Little Black Donkey shouted excitedly. This is dragon meat from the divine desolate. Qin Yun immediately pulled him back and said with a smile, Can you roast this level of dragon meat? That's true. Boss, you are the best, you must have a way to roast this dragon meat. Little Black Donkey said anxiously. Chapter 1693. Strike again. Qin Yun shook his head with a smile and said, Of course I have a way. However, we can't do it now. Let's refine the dragon cannon first. After we get it out, we can have a feast. These words also stimulated the Black Donkey and the others. All of them were filled with vigor. Then, everyone started to tidy up the dragon heads. 9 dragon heads are enough. Qin Yun left one for himself. He wants to use it to strengthen the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. However, he believed that even if the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon was fused with the dragon head, it would still require a very strong frost power to cool it down. As for the specifics, he had to discuss it with the star god. Due to the lack of manpower, Qin Yun planned on contacting Blackrat by Zhe to get them to return to help. Wei Zhongjing and Demonic Mirror Immortal Emperor were also called over to help set up the killing formation. And Qin Yun is mainly responsible for carving runes on the huge dragon head. He needs to carve a lot of runes. First is the 9 Dragon Totem. Moreover, it is the 9 Dragon Totem rune for dragon transformation. Then he also needs to add the Sacred Fire Totem. The dragon head is very large, so there is no need to carve runes on it. However, because it is a god-level dragon head, it is very strenuous to carve it. If Qin Yun did not have many kinds of inscription spirits, it would be impossible for him to be qualified for such a difficult task. Although his progress is very slow, he is still continuing. All he needed now was time. In order to place these 9 dragon head cannons, the mountain god will have to make the divine inscription mountain very big. When needed, the 9 dragon head cannons could be extended out from the inner space and fired. A deity-level dragon head could withstand an even stronger explosion of energy. This determined that the power that could be unleashed would be even stronger. Although Qin Yun's 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon is very strong, because of the materials used, it often overheats and has no choice but to cool down before it can be used. However, there was no need for this dragon head cannon. It was just that the dragon head cannon was too big, and the huge dragon head could not shrink. The dragon skull is very sturdy. Although only the skull is left, it is still very mighty and frightening. Especially after the runes were carved on it, there is a very strong dragon aura. Everyone was busy setting up killing formations while Qin Yun was busy carving runes. The entire inscription gate was busy and moving about. They all wanted to teach the dark race royalty a lesson, so they worked very hard. Even if it was hard, they gritted their teeth and endured. Their enemies were not only the dark royalty, but also the emperor clans. Some people in the imperial clan expressed that to snatch Qin Yun's sun soul meant that they had to go against the inscription gate. Jian Linglong, Lan Fengjin, and other female inscription masters, who returned from the Divine Palace, have been brought into the Divine Inscription Mountain. Yu Shutian and Lu Jingmeng have also been brought here. The reason they came here is to build the Magic Mirror Formation Foundation. This requires a large number of outstanding inscription masters. After Xiang Yalan and Nangong Shuaru arrived, They studied the divine trees and divine fruits inside the divine mountain. Qin Yun told them to move a few trees back to plant. Nangong Shueru used the sun-moon divine bowl to plant the mysterious sun god tree. It has already grown very well. The flowers that have condensed out look like a small sun. Since there are no results, Qin Yun told Nangong Shueru to continue planting the sun god tree. Nangong Shueru is an inscription pill master, but she can also participate in building the magic mirror formation foundation. Qin Yun obtained many powerful space runes and totems from the space god. After Qin Yun explained them to Xiao Hua and the others, they were able to master them. Then they began constructing the magic mirror formation foundation together. The magic mirror formation foundation can not only cover the entire immortal desolate to transmit information, it can also transmit some things through the formation inside the magic mirror. Previously, the magic mirror could absorb immortal jade beads. Qin Yun also wants to do the same. This way, he can control the transmission of information from the magic mirror and cause a lot of interference to the enemy. The 9 dragon cannons have already been refined. The mountain god is now familiarizing himself with them. He will need some time to adapt. And the little black donkey is also familiarizing himself with the black tortoise great formation. The magic mirror formation foundation that Qin Yun wants to refine is also gradually on the right track. The core of the formation has been completed. Next, it will be a lot easier. He only needs some time to adjust the runes, check the errors and then modify it. It took him more than 2 months to complete the core, now he still needs some time to complete the details. Qin Yun asked Jian Linglong to bring back the Guang Han Palace's female inscription masters, because the Guang Han Palace also needs to defend against the Dark Royal Race's sneak attack. Qin Yun gave them some broken divine tools. They were picked up by Star God from the battlefield of Divine Desolate. They are also very useful things. Xiao Yuelon returned. She brought back the tall and enchanting Sun Fairy. Yu Xiaoling's head is full of golden hair. She is wearing a bright red long skirt. Her voluptuous body is completely covered up. After she arrived, Xiao Yuemei pestered her to play with her. Xiao Yuemei likes to play with fairies the most. She likes those fairies who have wings, for example Yu Shutian and those flying divine bees. After Xiao Yuelon returned, she said, "The Emperor Race's attitude towards you is very vague. This is the same as Immortal Desolate's sacred master." Qin Yun nodded. "Don't worry about them. Our current target is the Dark Royal Race. These bastards have been chasing us for several months. They are truly not tired at all." Xiao Yun, the Dark Royal Race's main camp is above the 2 Xie. In 3 days, the 2 Xie will fly to the Emperor Race Divine Palace. They want to discuss the matter of dividing the Immortal Desolate and sign a truce agreement. Xiao Yuelon said. At that time, all the big shots of the major powers will go and participate. Qin Yun said with frown. If it is decided that the Immortal Desolate will be controlled by the Dark Royal Race and the Emperor Race, what will my inscription Divine Mountain do? Xiao Yuelon held Qin Yun's hand and said in grave tone, Xiao Yun, the Emperor Race and the Dark Royal Race might join hands to deal with you. Everyone in the Immortal Desolate knows that you have 2 sun spirits in your hands. Sun spirits are also very important to the Emperor Race. Yuelon, how much do you know about the Emperor Race after staying in the Emperor Race Divine Palace? Qin Yun asked. There are 3 factions within the Emperor Race. Because these 3 factions have different methods of nurturing their descendants, their characters are also different, so they often have differences. However, when faced with common interests, they will join hands. Xiao Yuelon said. Then what do you think our inscription Divine Mountain should do? Qin Yun is in the 20th floor of the Floating Cloud Pagoda, looking at his own divine position and walking back and forth. Xiao Yun, you are the sect master of the inscription gate. Xiao Yuelon chuckled and said, How the inscription gate will go in the future, it will all depend on you. You are the sect master's wife. I also have to listen to your opinion. Qin Yun gently caressed Xiao Yuelan's face and said with smile, "Although Yueme is the Grand Elder, your decision as the sect master's wife is more important than hers." Xiao Yuelan chuckled a few times and said, "Xiao Yun, if it was me, I would take advantage of their negotiation to attack the Dark Royal race and give them a taste of my power." "I think so too." Qin Yun rubbed his fist and said, "Right now, everyone in the Immortal Desolate is saying that the inscription Divine Mountain has turned into a turtle and is being chased all over the Immortal Desolate." Xiao Yuelan said, "Then use action to prove that the inscription gate is not a turtle." Qin Yun said with smile, "Yuelan, I want to take down a Xieyang. I feel that only by doing this will we be able to intimidate the Imperial race and also teach the Dark Royal race a lesson." "If you can do it, that would be the best. But isn't it very difficult?" Xiao Yuelan said. "We will know after we try," Qin Yun said with smile. "Then let's take action quickly. Xie Yang is going to the Imperial race's divine palace. We will take this opportunity to attack them," Xiao Yuelan said. Qin Yun walked out of the floating cloud pagoda and yelled at Mountain God, "Old Mountain, how is the practice of the 9 dragon cannons?" "It's almost done. We can start actual combat now," Mountain God said with smile. "Old Xiao, how many lizard dragons are there outside?" Qin Yun asked. "More than 1,000. 3,000 evil dragon warriors, 500 dark dragon warriors," Xiao Hua said. Qin Yun nodded, then looked at Mountain God and said, "Can we kill them all?" Hearing Qin Yun's words, everyone in the inscription gate became extremely excited, because the inscription gate is about to attack. "Yes." Mountain God laughed loudly and said, "No problem at all. Then can we take down a Xieyang?" Qin Yun asked again. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.